Show on AM 1310 WDPN.
To be different. You do, and you do have right now.
And Randall for three, late drop, and he carries it. Julius Randall. Get another bite at the apple. That's a ball game. Minnesota is moving on. A 121-110 victory in Game 5. And they take out the Golden State Warriors.
You can't run it back. You can't expect, it to be different. You do, and you do have right now a massive opening in the Eastern Conference. To which I say this, just go home, Bron.
Welcome into the Sam Bourquin Show, AM 1310 WDPN, streaming live all over the world, AM 1310 WDPN.com. Welcome in, everybody. It's a three-question Thursday edition of the program. Phone lines are open. The text line is open. The comment sections are open all over our social media platforms. Phone number 330-821-1310. 330-821-1310. You can text the program 330-924-7088, and you can drop comments on our Facebook page, our X page, on the Q92 Radio Facebook page and YouTube channel. And let's have a little get-together here on this Thursday afternoon. Hello, Alliance. Hello, Stark County. Hello, world. Welcome in to the Sam Bourquin Show. Sammy B here, Ryan Rainsberg there. I am decked out in my wine-colored Nike polo today with my wine-colored Cavaliers hat. You probably won't see this again until next year. Going to put it away, keep it nice, preserve it, and make sure it's ready to roll out next NBA season. All right, lots to get to today. We're going to talk, of course, we're going to talk the NFL schedule. Of course, we're going to talk the Cleveland Browns schedule. We will play yes, we will. We will play the NFL schedule game today with the Browns. We will also bring on our good buddy Fred Greetham from the Orange and Brown Report. Fred will join us around 3:35. We'll talk a little Browns mini camp. We'll talk a little schedule, and we'll talk a little AFC North with Fred Greetham at 3:35. The Cavaliers season obviously has come to a halt. We will talk to Sean Devaney from Athlon Sports. He'll join us at 4:40 today. We will look ahead. We may take one last look back for a couple of minutes, and then we're moving forward. We're looking ahead. How do we improve this team? How do they get out of the second round? Who can you bring in? What kind of salary cap situation are we in? Who are some of the guys you wouldn't mind, maybe saying, thanks for the memories, but it's time to move on. Sean Devaney, Athlon Sports, coming up at 4:40 today. Hey, the Guards are off today. They will play Tito Francona and the Cincinnati Reds coming up this weekend. I believe Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday afternoon, down at the Great American Ballpark in Cincinnati. So we'll talk a little Guards-Reds today. We'll really get into that series coming up tomorrow. High school baseball is heating up. Just a couple of more weeks left in the regular season, and then it'll be time for the tournament. Mount Union baseball team getting ready to host their regionals coming up Friday, Saturday, Sunday at Rayfield Rogers Field over at Mount. The Raiders will play in the second game tomorrow. And again, this is a double elimination game. We had Coach Hesse on a couple of days ago. It's double elimination. If you can get through here, if you can get out, you'll move on to the Super Regionals, which is one step closer to playing for the Division III NCAA College World Series. So best of luck to Mount Union in their ball game tomorrow, and hopefully by Sunday they will win that region and they will move on. Nick Cage, oh boy, the Madden movie. Don't have a release date yet. We're going to talk about that a little bit later on. We'll bring Ryan in for that. I know he is ready to talk movies and talk Madden and Nick Cage. We'll get into that. We've got On This Day in Sports History. We've got our X poll question of the day. And we also have our what? Our 3-question Thursday today. And we are getting incredible response on our 3-question Thursday today. Your questions are, we'd love to hear from you at 330-821-1310, or you can leave comments on all of our social media platforms. Question number 1, Cleveland Browns season record. What record will the Browns have this season? Question number 2, should the Cavaliers bring back LeBron James? No, that's not a joke. Look at what's going on. Should the Cavaliers bring back LeBron? And question 3, who is your all-time favorite celebrity crush? Who's your all-time celebrity crush? That's our 3-question Thursday quiz. Again, you can drop your comments on all our social media platforms. You can call in 330-821-1310, and you can text your answers in. We'll read those live on the air today as well. We always appreciate the texters coming in at 330-924-7088. Might drag John Bazika in here a little bit later on, talk some Cavs with him, and get his answers on our 3-question Thursday. We'll let Mr. Rainsberg take the quiz, and anybody else who wanders in, we'll put them on the microphone here today. So, still a little sad. The Cavs season's over. I did watch some NBA playoff games last night. I said I wouldn't, and I did. I didn't watch much of the Boston-New York game because that was a no contest. But I did watch the last. I probably watched the second half of the Minnesota Golden State, only because I was intrigued to see where the number would land as far as the point spread was concerned. And of course it fell on 11. But 121-110 was the final score. Minnesota is moving on to the Western Conference Finals. OKC Denver, that's coming up tonight, and that could go 7. I think OKC is going to win it, but I don't think Nikola Jokic and the guys they're not going to turn tail. Denver. I mean, it's a team that won an NBA championship just a couple of years ago under Michael Malone, who they fired about a month and a half ago. But I think that thing could go 7. So Minnesota is in. Oklahoma City, Denver. Maybe a couple left to go. We know the Pacers are in. And New York can close out Boston Game 6 coming up. So that's what's kind of going on there with the NBA. Now, we heard a little bit yesterday from Donovan Mitchell. And I believe this was a separate meeting with the press, because they kind of came in yesterday, and you do whatever, you clean your locker out, you talk for the final time, and that's it. That's all. Have a good night, everybody. But Donovan, to me, it's kind of how I still feel right now. To me, it's still bothering him, and that's okay. Just don't let it carry into training camp next year. But I think it's still bothering him a little. And here's a couple of excerpts from Donovan Mitchell yesterday after the Cavaliers bowed out for the second year in a row in the second round. And then more from Donovan. He says, he really loves the city of Cleveland, and he wants to do well. He wants to get it done. You got to love hearing that, though. I know they didn't get it done. Gentleman's sweep. Pacers kind of took them apart. But you got to love having a guy on your roster like Donovan Mitchell. And again, look, let's not sugarcoat it. He hasn't been out of the playoffs. He hasn't gotten out of the second round his entire career. Utah and now Cleveland. He's never gotten out of the second round. But he's still fighting, scratching, clawing, practicing. And I truly believe this guy is he's not gonna rest. He's not gonna stop until they get it done. Is that going to be next year? I don't know. Could it be 2027? I don't know. But I know one thing. Remember when he signed his extension, it wasn't a crazy long extension. Cavaliers are going to have a decision to make here in a couple of years on Donovan. I would make sure that guy's in a Cavaliers uniform the rest of his life. And that's that. I don't even think there's a discussion there. Look, you talk about all the money that's thrown around, the Supermax, the Max, the this, the that. That kind of guy with that kind of heart, who cares, who gets it, who's going to keep coming to work every day, no matter what, that's the guy you need to have in your uniform, in your organization, until he retires. And again, that conversation doesn't need to be had now. It doesn't need to be had next year. But after that, and depending on what happens, the Cavaliers need to have that conversation. And then there's another conversation that I wanted to have with you today. You heard Nick Wright from Fox Sports 1, First Things First, in our show open audio portion, talking about LeBron James. This is the time to come back home again. I've been on the fence about this. First time he left, obviously we were all angry. When he came back, I know people were shedding tears of joy. He left again, which was expected, went to the Lakers, got a COVID championship. That's about it. The dude can still play. The dude is still in incredible shape. And I think at the end of the day, I think he will finish his career in Cleveland. Whether that's a year from now, whether he finishes it in 3 years, whether he comes here after next year. But look around at our roster. I mean, hello, it's right in front of you. What would the Cavaliers need? Maybe as a final piece to put him over the top. I think LeBron at this point in his career, I don't think he can do any more with the Lakers. I really don't. They have grasped on the Luka, and I don't blame him. Luka's a lot younger than LeBron. So Luka is now the face of the Lakers, period. Would LeBron come back? I think he would. Would the Cavaliers take him back? I think they would. You'd have to work out some kind of money deal. LeBron's not coming back on a vet minimum. But at the end of the day, I think number 23 would like to put a few more trophies on the mantle, have a couple more rings in his pocket. Look at our roster. Look at what we need. Can you write a better story than that? I don't think you can. I know some people are still livid that he left. They were happy when he got back. They were still mad when he left again. They're mad at him because he's with the Lakers. They're mad because he won a championship there. And they get mad at him for other things, spouting off of, politics and this and that and the other. He rubs people the wrong way sometimes. There's no getting around that. I'd say the same thing. Sometimes I wish he would just back off of that a little bit. But there's no denying that this guy, I believe, and I know the body does weird things when you get to 40, but I believe if he keeps up this workout regimen and his practice regimen and his dedication to the game that he loves, I think this guy can play another 2 or 3 years at a pretty good level. and a level that would be good enough to get us over the top and get us another ring, or maybe two. And I know you'd probably have to break a little bit of the Cavs team up a little bit. You would. But I don't think it would have to be something crazy where you sell off the farm just to bring him back. I think you can get creative, imaginative, and you can work things out between the parties, especially if you think and know and believe and feel that Bron would really want to come back. Lakers aren't winning anything. Forget about it. Cavaliers are close. I truly think, what is this? I truly think by the end of the 28 season, I think we'll have another title. I believe that. And I think he could be a key piece. That's one of our questions on the 3-Question Thursday. We're getting about 65, 70% people saying, no way do I want LeBron back. 30, 35% say yes. Throw me in that 35%. But if you're going to do that, do it now. Don't wait. Get those good 2-3 years left before, Has he changed his game a little bit? Yeah, a little bit. Guy can still get up in the air, can still shoot, can still get some rebounds. He can still whip those passes around. And he's won titles. He knows Cleveland inside and out. Obviously, he is very, very comfortable there. I say try to make it happen. I do. Never thought I'd say that today. But the more I look at things, I look at the Lakers, I look at LeBron, where he's going, where he's headed. I think that could be a pretty good fit. And I'm telling you right now, if he would come back again, this would be his third time playing here, the town would still be off the charts. The electricity would be at an all-time high again. Business would be booming again for the Cavaliers. Not that it's not now. It would go up a whole new level. What do you think? 330-821-1310. 330-821-1310. Part of our 3-Question Thursday quiz today. Question number 1, what do you think the record will be for the Cleveland Browns? Number 2, should LeBron James come back to Cleveland? Question number 3, who is your all-time celebrity crush? Let us know on Facebook, on X, on Instagram, on our YouTube channel, and we'll read those responses here throughout the afternoon. I think it could happen. All right, don't forget, we've got a couple of great guests coming up today. About 3:35 or so, Fred Greetham from the Orange and Brown Report will be joining us. We'll talk Browns schedule, Browns mini camp with Fred. Sean Devaney from Athlon Sports will check in about 4:40. We'll talk Cavs. Should LeBron come back? And we'll look ahead to the future of the wine and gold. All that and more coming up here on the Sam Bourquin Show. The news is coming up here right around the corner. Again, the phone lines are open at 330-821-1310. You can always text the show. Ready to roll on a Thursday afternoon at 330-924-7088. Stay with us, everybody. Much more to come.
America, our military is sacrificing for our freedom. So please take time to remember our men and women fighting overseas. This salute courtesy of Diamond in the Rough Property Solutions, serving our community with dependability and excellence. For all of your residential and light commercial remodeling needs, call the professionals at 330-763-0089. 330-763-0089. Diamond in the Rough Property Solutions, reminding everyone to hire smarts, hire a vet.
The latest news and the current Alliance area weather forecast are up next on AM 1310 WDPN.
Good afternoon. It's 3:30. House Republicans are meeting to talk out their differences on the budget bill that aims to cut about $2 trillion from the federal government. ABC's Jay O'Brien says some hardline Republicans don't think the cuts go far enough, and lawmakers from states that pay higher taxes want limits on the state and local tax deductions or SALT deductions to be higher.
The Speaker is still meeting with these holdouts who have a number of policy disagreements with this massive piece of legislation that's going to be the vehicle for all of President Trump's campaign promises. What Republicans have officially named, by the way, as of today, the One Big Beautiful Bill Act, taking what the president calls it, putting into legislative language.
President Trump arrived in the United Arab Emirates today for the final leg of his first major foreign trip. Air Force One was given a fighter jet escort into the country's airspace, just as Saudi Arabia and Qatar offered on the first stops of his Mideast trip. Trump was greeted by the president of the UAE and later headed to the Sheikh Zayed Grand Mosque, among the largest mosques in the world. He's attending a state dinner at the presidential palace in Abu Dhabi. Russia and Ukraine are set to hold their first direct peace talks in 3 years, but hopes for a breakthrough remain dim after Russian President Vladimir Putin spurned an offer by Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky to meet face-to-face in Turkey. Zelensky said he's sending a team to Istanbul to meet a Russian delegation, even though Moscow's side doesn't include anyone who actually makes decisions. Few had expected Putin to show up in Turkey, and it punctured any hope of progress on ending the 3-year-old war that was given a push in recent months by the Trump administration and Western European leaders. Deadly flooding and heavy rains targeted portions of the east this morning. Here's ABC News Chief Meteorologist Ginger Z.
Flood-ravaged Western Maryland, expecting the National Guard to help in the cleanup after almost a half foot of rain fell in 1 hour. Adults putting kids on their shoulders to escape the flooding. Dustin Nash carrying his soon-to-be stepdaughter, Aria.
At lunch, I looked at the window and it was starting to rain a little bit and flood.
Until I got there, none of us knew that it was flooding as bad as it was.
Thankfully, that storm is moving on and becoming much lighter.
R&B singer Cassie has been forced to read aloud her explicit messages with former boyfriend Sean Diddy Combs during his sex trafficking trial. Combs' lawyers began cross-examining Cassie today. In some of the messages, she expresses enthusiasm for the sexual encounters with other men orchestrated by Combs that she disparaged in previous testimony. Cassie testified Wednesday that Combs raped her in 2018 and coerced her into participating in the so-called freak-off sex encounters with male escorts that made her feel ashamed. Combs denies the sex trafficking allegations and says the sex during the encounters was consensual. It's 81 degrees in Alliance at 3:32. This is WDPN News. I'm Jeff Mears.
Now, the Alliance Area Weather Forecast from Mark Johnson on AM 1310 WDPN.
A little bit of Thursday sunshine during the afternoon, mixing with clouds. Going to be warm, a little muggy, 82 degrees. We'll throw in an isolated afternoon thunder shower. Overnight scattered rain and thunder, mainly after midnight. Our low, 67. I am Mark J. Weather from News 5.
Music and intelligence for your life.
No matter what anybody tells you, words and ideas can change the world.
I'm John Tesh, and we couldn't be happier about bringing you intelligence for your life every day. We have a room full of researchers gathering the information and ideas you need to make your life simpler and better, and to make you the smartest person in the room. Join me for Music and Intelligence for Your Life, 10 to 3, Monday through Saturday, only on AM 1310 WDPN.
You heard it on the John Tesh Radio Show.
Looking for a fun-filled way to celebrate the spring season? Head to SpringFest at Spring Hill Historic Home in Massillon this Saturday, May 17th from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. This all-ages event is packed with something for everyone. Over 20 artisan and craft vendors, tasty eats from D3K Dogs and Boba Tea-licious, live music from the Canal Street Ramblers and Maddie Starr, plus crafts, games, and a scavenger hunt. Tour the historic 1821 farmhouse and don't miss the t-shirt printing bar by Sassy Mama Creative Designs. Shop unique finds from favorites like the Red Geranium, Molly B's Candle Company, A Wandering Palette, and Ebb the Creator, just to name a few. Admission is $10 for adults, $5 for youth ages 6 to 12, and free for kids 5 and under. Get your tickets now on Eventbrite. And your love of all things spring to Spring Hill Historic Home this Saturday, 11 to 4.
This is the Sam Bourquin Show on AM 1310 WDPN.
And we are back here on the program. It is a 3-question Thursday here on the Sam Bourquin Show, 1310 WDPN, streaming live all over the world at AM1310WDPN.com. Phone lines are open, 330-821-1310. That's 330-821-1310. We're going to be talking to Fred Greetham here in just a couple of minutes from the Orange and Brown Report. And we'll see what Fred has to say about minicamp and the schedule. And we'll get into some other good stuff about your Cleveland Browns. I was just looking at the schedule here again before we get Fred. I know it's one of the dumbest things to do, but everybody does it. So if you don't, you're like out of the loop. Okay, so I played the schedule game in my mind today, and I'm coming up with 4-13. Doesn't mean anything. Things could change. People get hurt. People get traded. People step up. This, that, and the other. I know, as the NFL is crazy and wacky and whatever else you think about it. I just and the schedule makers yesterday, I think they told us that it's going to be a very long year. You're looking at every Eastern time zone game is at 1 o'clock. Every one. You got a 4 o'clock game in Vegas, and I think you've got another 4 o'clock game in there as well. I can't. It's not showing on this particular schedule. But yeah, the NFL has spoken. They're telling Browns fans that you're kind of in for the long haul. But hey, you never know. Let's bring on Fred Greetham as we go to the 1310 WDPN hotline from the Orange and Brown Report. Fred, I know you're traveling around today, but I appreciate your time on this Thursday. Good afternoon, bud. How are you?
Doing good, Sam. How are you?
I'm doing fine. I was just, before we brought you on, I was just kind of looking at the schedule a little bit. I looked at it for about an hour or so last night, looked away, looked at some other teams, came back to ours, and I came up with like 4-13. And I was like, well, that's just what I think it's going to be. But wow, Fred, the NFL schedule makers are pretty much telling everybody it's not going to be a real good year for the Browns as far as wins by no primetime games. They got the standalone in London, and they're all 1 o'clock except for Vegas and one more. Your take on it?
Yeah, that's from a writer's perspective. We kind of like those 1 o'clock games. But, yeah, I mean, they're not being looked at very favorably, and that's what you get when you're 3-14. You have the number 2 pick in the draft. I think the Browns, at least under Kevin Stefanski, seem to do better in these situations where they're under the radar. Seems like every year that the 2 years they went to playoffs, high expectations, they had very disappointing years for different reasons. But I just think that, the reality is, they're all against teams that were playoff or they all have winning records. So that's pretty brutal. I mean, we all know last year they started 1-6. The season was over for a lot of reasons. A lot had to do with the quarterback, but they could find themselves, in a different situation or in the same situation again. I think that a lot of it depends on their quarterback play, if they can find stability, whether it's Flacco, whether it's Pickett, whether it's one of the rookies, and relying on the running game and defense, try to put themselves back in a favorable position. And so that's the biggest thing. I think when you get the last place schedule, you're supposed to, have a little easier go of it. But for the Browns this year, they're playing the NFC North. And you look at the records from last year, the Vikings and the Lions and the Bears are ascending. And
Green Bay.
Green Bay, these are all playoff teams or expected to be playoff teams. And I think last year, a lot of people didn't expect NFC East to be that strong. But the Browns lost all 4 of their games. And a lot of that had to do with their 1-6 start. I mean, they lost the Cowboys and then the Giants and the Eagles and the Redskins or Commanders. And, that goes a long way when you're 0-4, against the NFC team. And so, yeah, I think it's similar. It looks like they get some breathing room in the second half of the season, but you're unless you can stay afloat in the first half of the season, it's going to be, a lot of the season could be determined by the first 6-7 games for sure.
Yeah, I agree. I'm looking at this thing right now. My gosh, I'm looking at a couple of, pockets in the schedule. You start Bengals, Ravens, Packers, Lions, then you got the Vikings, then you got Pittsburgh, and then to close it out, Fred, Bears, Bills, Steelers, Bengals. I mean, good grief. And the Niners are in there, week 13. The Ravens again in week 11. By the way, that's the other 4 o'clock game, the Ravens game in Cleveland, week 11. But I mean, I don't know. I said 4-13, and now I look a little closer here, and I'm thinking I don't know if they'll even get 4. But I guess at this point, we shouldn't even be really worried about that. It should be progress, culture, coaching guys up, getting talent, getting a little younger in some spots, getting some veterans in others. I mean, that's really what I'm focused on and looking forward to. Not necessarily, I mean, what's their record going to be at this point?
Well, yeah, it's, when you have lower expectations, it's easier to deal with. Last year was very difficult for a lot of reasons. I felt it was one of the best rosters I had ever covered, and I expected the quarterback to play better. I think everybody did, and we all know it happened. So that's why it was so disappointing to realize that you went through all this to have that type of a season or product. And so, that's where you're at. I think the number one goal is to identify your future quarterback, if that's possible. Do either of these guys you drafted, have the ability to be that franchise quarterback, or are you playing for the 2026 draft when you have 2 first-round picks? And not only are you looking at the Browns schedule, you kind of have an eye at the Jaguars schedule to see, could that team, finish having a top 10 pick, which you would get. And so having to, we could be right back in the same situation, deciding they have to draft another quarterback next year, or will they find lightning in a bottle? Will Shedeur Sanders step up, or will Dylan Gabriel? And, when you look at it that way, there are some things to identify this season. Just a matter of a lot of question marks.
No doubt. Fred Greetham is our guest. Orange and Brown Report. Check him out on X at Fred Greetham9. At Fred Greetham9 on X. A lot of good stuff up there as far as the Cleveland Browns and some great content from Fred. Go check that out whenever you can. I know the mini camp, it is what it is. It's just a little weekend. Guys get to know each other a little bit. Rookies come in, some free agents come in, the coaching staff is there, they choose their numbers. Any news, anything stand out to you for minicamp in Berea this year?
No, it just looked to me like the coaching staff from Kevin Stefanski structured it different, because in the past, when you only draft 7 guys and you bring in, 13 even undrafted guys, that's still only 20. You can't do much football when it requires 22 to play both sides of the ball. So they had 56 guys there, and 26 were in for tryouts. And I think really a lot of that was to give the guys a look, but also so they could, throw passes and have receivers and do some of the things, that require, in the football side of things. So I thought the quarterbacks, obviously they get the attention. I thought that Gabriel throws the ball, pretty nice ball. He reminded me, my first take would be kind of like a left-handed Russell Wilson.
No kidding.
Like
okay.
Smaller, but throws a good ball, has a strong arm, throws a real tight spiral. I mean, compared to, Shedeur, he had some zip on the ball, but sometimes his ball floated a little bit. The first day, the second day, he looked pretty good too. They both did. But again, you're going against no defense really, other than guys kind of filling spots out there. And so, we're going to be talking about it all off season program this spring and, into training camp. As long as Kevin Stefanski says it's an open competition at quarterback, there has not been one since he's been here. So, that's what will be interesting. I liked what I saw Quinshon Judkins and Dylan Sampson, obviously, in just shorts and helmets, but they look quick, they look the part, and and I think that could go a long way if you can, get that running game going again, which we haven't seen really in the last 2 years a lot, because one thing, Nick Chubb was injured, but the second one was because last year they went away from the wide zone running game and tried to emphasize the passing game more. So all the way around, it's hard to evaluate, but more than anything, I think it's for the players. It's just an orientation. So when they hook back up with the veterans, they're not lost. They kind of know what's expected and what they're supposed to be doing.
Great point. Fred Greetham, our guest from the Orange and Brown Report here on the Sam Bourquin Show, 1310 WDPN. Fred, the Browns kind of told us when they drafted Schlesinger out of UCLA at linebacker that they had probably already had a decision made on JOK because of the injury situation and the like. But gosh, Fred, that's just hard to. I don't know. I just feel so bad for JOK. He always seemed to bust his tail. He always worked hard. He never caused any problems. Just he couldn't stay healthy. And when you get an injury like this, you worry about the guy being able to get out of bed in a couple of years and just walk normally, let alone come back and play a very violent sport. But your take on that whole situation and Jeremiah and what he meant to the team and what his future is now.
Yeah, I mean, I'm glad to be able to see him, videos and see him walking around and conducting himself, from the human side of it. But as you said, from the football side, I've never really felt good about the situation because everything was so quiet.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe it was Jordan Hicks after following the injury, we interviewed him and somebody just said, how's he doing? And he made the comment, he said, we're just praying for a miracle, that he can play again. And that really put the red flag up that this is not like he might be playing in a week or two. And I think the aspect of declaring him out already 4 months before the first game,
right,
that pretty much tells you that they don't see a path, in the near future. And really, obviously everything's uncertain in life, but I don't know, if he'll play again. You think about that, if it was me and I was having to tackle Derrick Henry, first of all, that would be a joke. But how do you play the game of football with that in the back of your mind, you know? And so, yeah, you just hope and pray for the best for the young man. But I don't know. I mean, I think Schlesinger, whether they believe that or not, that was the priority of getting what I saw of him. He might not be as quick as JOK, but he was kind of sideline to sideline out there, and he made a nice interception. And really, I think he's going to be in there from day one. I think he's a football player, and I think they value him high. So we'll see how it all shakes out, but it is unfortunate. In Andrew Berry's first 5 drafts, he drafted 37 players, and only one made it to the Pro Bowl, and it was JOK.
It was him.
So,
yep.
So that's the downside. The football side, that's a big hole to fill, in that defense. And so Schlesinger, really, they need him to step up, quickly.
Fred Greetham is our guest from the Orange and Brown Report, talking a little Brown schedule, a little mini camp here on the Sam Bourquin Show, 1310 WDPN. I'm sure you've seen that video that's gone viral with Mason Graham, but with the Browns working out, doing drills, speed drills, bag drills, this and that and the other. Make anything of that, or just it is what it is, and we'll move on, and we'll see what he brings coming here in a couple of months.
Yeah, I mean, I saw him, took a couple videos of him, but they're not doing much, especially defensive tackles. They're just kind of walking through, maybe doing a little bit, tackling dummies. And, obviously where he's going to make his money is stuffing the inside and stopping the run and providing interior rush. That's what they brought him for. A lot of times those big guys, it's better not seen, not heard. They're
right,
just kind
exactly.
of doing their job. And, you look at the stat sheet and they had 1 tackle, and you go, well, they didn't do anything. No, they have a different job. So all the way around, we'll see what becomes of it. But really, when the tackling starts in training camp and so forth, that's really when we'll be able to evaluate him more. But I think he's a practical, he's a solid pick, and we'll see how that all shakes out.
Yeah, I'm with you. Videos and mini camp, forget about it. Wait till when everything starts flying around, then we'll see what we got up there as far as Mason Graham is concerned. Fred, one more, and I'll let you go. And I really appreciate you taking some time to come on with us today. Again, not that they were doing a whole lot at mini camp because you can't. But what kind of vibe did you sense in that small quarterback room with Gabriel and Shedeur? Did you interactions, conversations back and forth? How were they looking, walking, interacting with each other? What did you see there?
Well, we talked to both of them on Saturday, and I thought they both came off. Obviously, they're well seasoned in dealing with the media, coming from the backgrounds they did. Gabriel playing at, the highest level, 3 different colleges, and Sanders, growing up in Dion's home. Very well spoken. I thought they came off very well, very confident, both of them. And then on the field, I thought I saw all business, from Sanders. We were open on Friday and Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't get, it was closed Sunday, but on Friday and Saturday, I saw Sanders stay after with some tryout wide receivers and throwing the ball to him for like a half hour both days. And Gabriel was, like I saw, he threw the ball well and had a quick release, and they both were all business on the field. And so, it'll be interesting as it goes on, but that's about all you can tell is just see them kind of how they look and running around out there and obviously not getting hit and so forth. But I think they came off pretty well in the media sessions and in the workouts we were able to see.
I want to piggyback off that. You brought up the release of Gabriel. Who, I know again early, but who do you think will have the more NFL ready release of the football from the quarterback position between those two? Because from what I've seen, and I'm not a scout, I'm not a coach, to me it looks like Shedeur winds up a little bit too much for me. Am I seeing things there? What about the release for both those guys?
Yeah, I think Gabriel, all the way around at this point, I think he looks a little more polished. He's played, 63 games in college. So you get a little of that Bo Nix, comparison that he's played at a high level. And I do think he makes quick decisions, gets the ball out. I know Shedeur, he had the record for the highest completions, a lot of check downs or screens or short passes. But I think that's what I saw him working the coaches with both of them, and their techniques and so forth. But just the eye test to me, it looked like Gabriel got the ball out a little quicker, right off the bat.
Interesting. Fred, I really appreciate your time today. Be safe on the road, and we'll talk to you again here down the road about the Cleveland Browns and what the future looks like. Always appreciate you coming on. Thank you, sir.
All right, Sam. Thanks for having me. Have a good day.
You too. Fred Greetham, check him out at Fred Greetham 9 on X, at Fred Greetham 9 on X. And again, he has been doing his thing for a long time with the Orange and Brown Report. 3:53 is our time here on the Sam Bourquin Show, 1310 WDPN. We'll take a break and come back. We'll go through the 3-question Thursday quiz, and we'll read off some of our incredibly entertaining responses on our social media platforms. Stay right with us.
This place has a pulse. You hear it in the canopy, feel it in the ground. Life, fully illuminated, engulfs you. From the birds singing in the treetops above to the tiniest insects in the soil below. You take a deep, cleansing breath, filling your lungs with the essence of the forest. Now, imagine it's all gone. Healthy, life-giving forests reduced to nothing. No singing birds, no lush canopy, and water and food in short supply around the world. Time is running out to protect our forests, and without our love, they can and will disappear. It's our choice. Love it or lose it. Help protect our forests. Visit World Wildlife Fund at wwf.org/love.
We are the keepers of the wild, America's original and most invested conservationists. For more than 80 years, we've been committed to conserving wildlife and the natural landscapes that define our nation. From rugged alpine ridgelines to peaceful tall grass prairies, we've supported the conservation of more than 36 million acres of American wildlands. Our funding has led to cleaner water, fresher air, and improved wildlife habitat. From abundant fish and waterfowl populations to robust deer and elk herds, nothing is more important than maintaining wild spaces for adventurers to explore and wildlife to thrive. We are America's hunters and target shooters, stewards of the American outdoors.
America's hunters and target shooters, along with firearm, ammunition, and archery manufacturers, have invested more than $46 billion to help state fish and wildlife agencies manage and protect wildlife and wildlands across America. For more information, visit outdoorstewards.org.
And we're live here outside the Perez family home, just waiting for the... And there they go, almost on time this morning. Mom is coming out the front door strong with a double-arm kid carry. Looks like Dad has the bags. Daughter is bringing up the rear. Oh, but the diaper bag wasn't closed. Diapers and toys are everywhere. Ooh, but Mom has just nailed the perfect car seat buckle for the toddler. And now the eldest daughter, who looks to be about 9 or 10, has secured herself in the booster seat. Dad zips the bag closed, and they're off. But looks like Mom doesn't realize her coffee cup is still on the roof of the car, and there it goes. Oh, that's a shame. That mug was a fam favorite.
Don't sweat the small stuff. Just nail the big stuff, like making sure your kids are buckled correctly in the right seat for their age and size. Learn more at nhtsa.gov/the right seat.
Visit nhtsa.gov/the right seat.
Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
You're listening to the Sam Bourquin Show on AM 1310 WDPN.
Welcome back. About 4 minutes until we get you to the top of the hour. Jeff Mears with the news. We've got the weather, all the good things. You come for us every day right here. 330-821-1310, our number. It is 1310 WDPN. Again, appreciate everybody listening to us on the live stream on the Q92 Radio Facebook page and YouTube and X channels as well. This is funny. Sam, I hope one of these Cleveland pro teams, the Browns or the Guardians, win a championship before I take my permanent dirt nap. I'm now 72. Thank goodness I saw the Cavs win one in 16. The way the Browns are going, I might be in the home being pushed around in a chair before they ever get the job done. Love the show. Keep it up. Certainly appreciate that. All right, some great responses on our 3-question Thursday quiz today. Question number 1. What will the Cleveland Browns record be at the end of the year? Number 2, should the Cavaliers bring back LeBron James? Question number 3, your all-time celebrity crush. Andy says the Browns will go 4-13. Hell no on LeBron. His celebrity crush, Victoria Justice. Let's see here. Dougie says Browns will go 6-11. No on LeBron. Growing up, it was Ann Margaret. Recently, it's Amy Adams. Matt Kirkbride, he says the Browns will go 3-14. Absolutely no for LeBron James. His celebrity crush is Julia Roberts. Walter says the Browns will go 9-8. No thank you for LeBron. His celebrity crush was Christy McNichol. Remember Christy McNichol? Oh, my gosh. I haven't heard that name in 25 years. Good job, Walt. Tracy says the Browns will go 2-15. Big no for LeBron. Her celebrity crush is Eddie George. Let's see here. Doug says the Browns will go 5-12. This is Doug P. Another hell no for LeBron. And Jane Seymour was his celebrity crush. Eric Fouts, the Browns will go 7-10. Another heck no for LeBron. His celebrity crush is Eva Longoria. We got time for a couple more here. Larry Rossetti. Hey, Larry. Browns are going to go 5-12 this year. He says no on LeBron, and his favorite celebrity crush is Carmen Electra. Oh, there's some good ones up there today. Good ones. 3-question Thursday quiz. Check them out on my Facebook page, on the X page at AM 1310 WDPN, and on the Q92 Radio Facebook page as well. We'll be with you until 6 o'clock tonight. We're going to talk some NBA, talk some Cavs with Sean Devaney from Athlon Sports coming up in the 4 o'clock hour. Some high school baseball chat, Guardians, Reds, and 3-question Thursday quiz continues. Stay with us here on 1310.
News, weather, sports, local information, and music 24 hours a day. This is AM 1310, WDPN Alliance.
ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. House Republicans trying to finalize cuts to the sweeping budget reconciliation package. There are sticking points for Republican support, especially cuts to programs like Medicaid. ABC's Jay O'Brien says it also faces an uphill battle in the Senate.
While hardliners say they want even more to be done to Medicaid in this bill before it's brought to a vote next week, there are already some moderate Republicans, particularly in the Senate, who say they don't like the direction this legislation is taking Medicaid. Josh Hawley, a Senate Republican of Missouri, is chief among them. So you might see some wrangling back and forth on Medicaid, even if this legislation gets out of the House.
Supreme Court justices heard arguments today over birthright citizenship, and the White House attorneys say lower courts should not be able to block President Trump's executive order, while it challenges in courts are still undecided. Volatile storms targeting the South and Midwest today, including the possibility of tornadoes. This is ABC News.
Shop the Sherwin-Williams Memorial Day sale and get 30% off paints and stains May 16th through the 26th. With prices starting at $34.29, it's the perfect time to transform your space with color. Whether you're looking to revamp your bedroom, living room, or home office, we have you covered with bold hues, soothing neutrals, and everything in between. Shop the sale online or visit your neighborhood Sherwin-Williams store. Retail sales only. Some exclusions apply. See store for details.
The best day for great deals on everything for summer is one day, as in the Macy's One Day Sale. Find the best prices of the month on summer essentials, from men's tees from Champion & More for $12.99 to $500 off diamond studs, now just $199.99. Even 5-piece luggage sets for your next getaway, now $69.99. Less than a cab to the airport. And you can earn rewards fast start during Star Money bonus days. It's a day unlike any other. The Macy's One Day Sale tomorrow. Savings off already reduced prices. Exclusions apply.
Now, the latest Alliance area news from Jeff Mears on AM 1310 WDPN.
Good afternoon. It's 4:02. The legal guardians of a 3-year-old Canton boy who died last week have made an initial court appearance. Arraigned today in Canton Municipal Court were 42-year-old Demetrius Givens and 37-year-old Jamie Thompson of Canton. They're charged with involuntary manslaughter and child endangering. Givens and Thompson are scheduled to return to court for a status conference Monday. They are accused of not properly feeding and caring for the child, causing him to starve to death. The activity occurred between October 1st and May 4th. Canton police responded to a Gilbert Circle Northeast home May 5th after a report of a boy who wasn't breathing. He was taken to Mercy Hospital where he died. Givens and Thompson are being held on $1 million bonds. Stark Solar says it's dropping plans for a solar farm in Washington Township. The subsidiary of Samsung says it won't appeal last month's decision by the Ohio Power Siting Board to deny their application for the 150-megawatt facility. The solar farm would have been located in the southwestern portion of the township, north of Route 153. Stark Solar recently terminated its option agreements with landowners. The Siting Board said in their denial that the project was opposed by area residents and local governments. It also cited Stark Solar's failure to prove the project served the public interest, convenience, and necessity. A Paris Township man already serving prison time for raping a girl will spend an additional 10 to 15 years behind bars for a similar crime. 35-year-old David Worrell was sentenced Wednesday by Stark County Common Pleas Judge Chrissa Hartnett. He pleaded guilty to charges of rape and unlawful sexual conduct with a minor. Prosecutors say the sexual assaults occurred between December 2021 and August 2023. The victim was 12 when the abuse began. Worrell was sentenced in September 2023 to 10 to 15 years in prison after pleading guilty to rape and gross sexual imposition involving another 12-year-old girl. The abuse happened between February and August of 2022. The sentences will be served consecutively. Worrell was given 5 years probation and must register as a Tier 3 sex offender after his release. Area law enforcement officials remember colleagues who made the ultimate sacrifice in the line of duty. Officers from multiple departments participated today in the annual Peace Officers Memorial Ceremony outside the Stark County Sheriff's Office. The names of officers who died were read aloud and carnations were placed in front of a memorial wall for each one. Sheriff Eric Weisburn said participants gather not only to mourn those lost, but celebrate their lives, courage, and unwavering commitment to duty. Family members recalled Alliance Police Officer Vincent Bann, who died in 2012. A convicted sex offender has appeared in court on charges of engaging in prostitution, possession of criminal tools, and obstructing official business. 36-year-old Todd Nicely of Cortland was arraigned today in Columbiana County Municipal Court. He was arrested during a sex sting in Salem Wednesday night. Nicely is accused of responding to an online ad posted by an undercover agent with the Mahoning Valley Human Trafficking Task Force. After showing up at a prearranged location, he fled on foot when he saw Salem police cruisers. Officers arrested him shortly thereafter. Nicely reportedly had money, a cell phone used to arrange the meeting, and a piece of paper he said contained cocaine. Additional charges may be pending results of tests of the suspected drug. Nicely is free after posting bond. Youngstown police called to a South Jackson Street home Tuesday morning, discovered 2 bodies. The Vindicator reports a caller reported being locked out of his mother-in-law's home. Firefighters gained entry just before noon, and police found the woman asleep in the living room. A man and woman were found in an upstairs bedroom. The coroner's office is also investigating. The deaths are considered possible overdoses. A jury in Mahoning County Common Pleas Court has found a man on trial for a second time for assaulting a Boardman police officer guilty. Sentencing has not been scheduled for 28-year-old Damian Cessna of Austintown. He was convicted of felonious assault today. Cessna was found guilty in September of aggravated menacing and obstructing official business. The jury was unable to agree on a verdict on the felonious assault charge. Judge Maureen Sweeney declared a mistrial. Cessna was charged in July 2021 after police saw him riding a bicycle on South Avenue and carrying a baseball bat. He pulled a knife on officers and refused orders to drop it. Police shot Cessna, who pleaded guilty to the felonious assault charge in 2023, but withdrew the plea. We now know the name of a man who died in a house fire in Champion Township. The Trumbull County Coroner's Office says 72-year-old Robert Antonelli succumbed to his injuries at a hospital following the Wednesday morning blaze on Aspen Drive Northwest. Firefighters found him in an upstairs bedroom. 2 other residents were also taken to a hospital. The state fire marshal's office is investigating the cause. A fire captain suffered facial burns, and Police Chief Larry Skaggs suffered from smoke inhalation. Both were taken to a hospital. Stewart Healthcare System has now gotten the attention of 3 members of Congress. Representatives Michael Ruley and David Joyce and Senator John Husted asked for an investigation into possible Medicare fraud. The trio sent a letter to U.S. Attorney General Pam Bondi accusing Stewart of imposing administrative charges on Trumbull Regional Medical Center and Hillside Rehabilitation Hospital and preventing income from reaching the facilities. Warren Mayor Doug Franklin last week accused Stewart of using the money to pay itself and vendors. Insight took over management of the hospitals during Stewart's bankruptcy. The actions have prevented Insight Foundation from using the money to pay for operations at the facilities. It's 81 degrees in Alliance at 4:07. This is the local edition of WDPN News. Mark Johnson's forecast is up next, a service of Canterbury Villa of Alliance. I'm Jeff Mears.
Send your loved ones to a place that cares and a place that they can trust. They'll find a place that feels like home at Canterbury Villa in Alliance. They will provide the highest level of care to their residents when it comes to skilled nursing, rehabilitation, long-term care, and Alzheimer's care. At Canterbury Villa, your loved ones become family. Located on Freshley Avenue, schedule a free visit today by calling 330-821-4000 and ask for Samantha Nutter. At Canterbury Villa, they walk the talk.
Here's Mark Johnson's forecast on AM 1310 WDPN.
This WDPN weather is brought to you by Canterbury Villa of Alliance, where your loved ones become family. Schedule a free visit today by calling 330-821-4000. A mix of clouds and sunshine through your Thursday afternoon. Just 1 or 2 isolated thunder showers here and there. Overnight, slight chance for a severe storm. After midnight, our low 67. I am Art J. Weather. Have a great afternoon.
Live from the AM 1310 WDPN studio, it's time for live and local sports talk. It's the Sam Bourquin Show.
I'm ready.
Give the show a call at 330-821-1310.
Good call, meatball.
Watch the Sam Bourquin Show on the AM 1310 Facebook page, the Q92 YouTube page, and on X. This is the Sam Bourquin Show on AM 1310 WDPN.
And Randall for 3, late caught, and he buries it. Julius Randall. Get another bite at the apple. That's a ball game. Minnesota is moving on. A 121-110 victory in Game 5. And they take out the Golden State Warriors.
You can't run it back. You can't expect, it to be different. You do have right now a massive opening in the Eastern Conference. To which I say this, just go home, Bron.
Welcome back to Hour 2 of the Sam Bourquin Show on AM 1310 WDPN, streaming live at AM1310WDPN.com. Check us out on the Q92 Radio Facebook page and X page, YouTube channel, as we come to you from Smith Avenue in the heart of Alliance, Ohio, here in the Carnation City. Hope you're having a wonderful day, getting a little steamy outside. I guess maybe some storms are going to come roaring through, but not until in the middle of the night. Like, say, between 2 and 5 a.m. might get a little crazy. So the plan today, get home in time to mow the yard. Front, side, back, and get it done before the rain comes overnight. That's the plan. You can tell the humidity is really starting to pick up outside. I don't mind, though. It actually feels pretty good. The older I get, man, the more I am good with the humidity. Phone lines are open, 330-821-1310, 330-821-1310. You can always text the show at 330-924-7088. Our 3-question Thursday quiz today. Question number 1, what will the Browns' record be? Cleveland Browns' record for this year. Number 2, should the Cavaliers bring LeBron James back? Should LeBron come back home one more time? Think about that for a minute. Question number 3, I also want you to put deep thought into this. Your all-time celebrity crush. We're getting some great comments today. I'll read a few more of those as we move along here. Don't forget, Sean Devaney from Athlon Sports will be joining us at 4:40. A final look back at the Cavaliers season and a look ahead, and we'll see what he thinks about maybe the wine and gold and LeBron James getting back together one more time. Let's go to the phones at 330-821-1310. You are on the Sam Bourquin Show. Good afternoon. Who's this?
This is Frank, Sam. How you doing?
Frank, how are you, bud?
I'm good. Browns 4-13.
That's what I got him at.
I think we can maybe beat Pittsburgh, Cincinnati, or Baltimore. Maybe two of those teams, maybe the 6 games. And LeBron, no, I think it upsets our chemistry. I mean, he just wants to be the center of the attention, and I just think that upsets our chemistry.
Okay.
As to my classic crush, I would say Heather Locklear.
Oh, you can't go wrong there.
Yeah, I can't go wrong there.
You can't go wrong there at all. She's gotten a couple votes today on the 3-question Thursday, so you're in good company right there, Frank, no doubt.
All right, have a good day.
Okay, my man. Thanks for listening. I appreciate you calling in here on a Thursday afternoon. Frank out and about on the road today, and you can do just what Frank did. 330-821-1310 if you're driving or whatever, which Frank was. I'm sure he was both hands on the wheel. You can also text the show at 330-924-7088. I don't know why so many people are so against bringing number 23 back for one more run at it. Look at our roster. Okay? Donovan, Mobley, DeAndre Hunter, Darius Garland, Jared Allen. I think LeBron would be a nice little piece of the puzzle. Obviously, you'd probably have to get rid of some guys, move some salary cap money around. Again, we're not in a real great situation salary cap wise. Again, like that's a tradition with Cleveland sports. Salary cap hell, it always happens. But tell me you would say no to Mitchell, Garland, Hunter, Mobley, LeBron. Tell me you would say no to that lineup. How could you say no to that? I think it's almost destined to happen. I said it about a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, Just one night I was just kind of messing around on social media. And I said something along the lines of there's 3 guarantees. And doggone it, I forget what the other 2 were that I put out there. And I said the third one is LeBron James will finish his career as a Cleveland Cavalier. And I don't mean just come in here for the tour for the last year and where they give you the rocking chair and all that and all the NBA arenas and they make a big fuss. LeBron Ramon James can still play basketball at an incredibly high level. Why wouldn't you want that? I know he brings the circus. I know. We had it here before. We won a title. I know people like Frank that just called in about upsetting the chemistry. Maybe. Maybe not. This isn't 27-year-old LeBron. This is almost 40-year-old LeBron. And if it upsets the chemistry 10 or 15 or 20%, but it gets you a title, does it matter? With the Cavaliers, it seems we're always concerned about the chemistry. And to a point, the Guardians too, because we pretty much have just good dudes. Can't say that about the Browns. But the Guardians and the Cavaliers, it's always as a chemistry. We don't want to rock the boat. We don't want to ruin the team chemistry. People will get upset. That will throw off the mojo. At some point, you got to say, puh, on that and go get yourself a title. And if the boat gets rocked a little bit, the boat gets rocked. Isn't it worth it? Isn't it worth it to maybe give up just a little bit of chemistry? It's not going to come crumbling down. It's not going to sink like the Titanic. But so what if there's a little conflict here and there? If it gets you a title, if it gets you one of the all-time greatest players in the NBA still at his age, I say you do it again. Why not? You know Dan's thinking about it. You know Dan Gilbert's thinking about it. You know there's been talks. Maybe this year, maybe last year, maybe 2 years ago. I'm telling you, if I had to bet today, I would say LeBron finishes his career in a Cavaliers uniform, and I think they would get at least one more title. And I'm not even saying that to get you all crazy. I believe that. I believe he'll come back again. I believe he'll win a title here again. I think LeBron will play till he's 41, 42 years old. I do. He's not going to put up 29, 12, and 10, but he might get you 19, 7, and 7. I'm good with that. He brings championship pedigree with him. Unbelievable experience. Obviously no stranger to Northeast Ohio. And what a better way to put a bow on the entire career. You start here, you leave. You come back, you win a title. You leave, you come back, you get maybe one more. And then you ride off into the sunset. I'm telling you, it's not crazy. It's not goofy. It's not some kind of pie-in-the-sky fantasy. I think it could happen. Excuse me. And I think if you're going to kick the tires on LeBron, now's the time to do it. Squeeze the last 2-3 real good years. With what we've got, again, I know the salary implications. I get it. You'd have to be creative. LeBron would have to take a deep discount. I get it. But why not? With the guys we've got under control right now, I think if a guy like LeBron James came in, that might be the icing on the cake. That might be what you need to put you over the top. What do you think? 330-821-1310, 330-821-1310. You can always text the show at 330-924-7088. 3-question Thursday quiz. here on the Sam Bourquin Show today. Question number 1, what do you think the Cleveland Browns record is going to be this year? Question number 2, should LeBron come back to the Cavaliers? Question number 3, your all-time favorite celebrity crush. Who is it? Who is it? Let's check the old Facebook and X pages here. We'll read some more of these. Tommy Michaelides, he says the Browns will go 0-17. Bring LeBron back. Sure, why not at this point? His favorite celebrity crush, Catherine Bach of the Daisy Dukes of Hazzard. Remember Catherine Bach? Zach Hardy. Zach, thanks for listening and tuning in today. 4-13, maybe 5-12 for the Browns. If I were a sports book, I'd set that over under at 4.5. Well, that's about where it's at. Should the Cavs bring LeBron back? Sure, but only if the price is right. Question number 3, his celebrity crush, Marissa Miller, growing up was his number 1. Seth says the Browns will go 4-13. He says no on LeBron. His celebrity crush growing up, I'm not even reading that. I'm not doing it. Ryan says the Browns will go 4-13. Yes, on LeBron if he's willing to be a role player. His celebrity crush was Britney Spears. Jim Kincaid, the Browns will go 8-9. He says he'd sign LeBron for a one-day contract. His celebrity crush was Chrissy Everett. Our news hawk, Clint Scroggs, or Clint Marshall, he says the Browns will go 5-12. Bring LeBron back, Clint? He says, sure, if the price is right. His celebrity crush was Cheryl Ladd. Let me get you a couple more here. Jim Baumgartner says Browns will go 3-14. No on LeBron James. His celebrity crush was Carrie Underwood. And Jesse Bryan says the Browns will go 9-8. He says, why not? Bring back LeBron James. His celebrity crush, Ariana Grande. Drop those comments. Get them to us here on the Sam Bourquin Show because it is a 3-question Thursday. We'll take a break. 330-821-1310, 330-821-1310. We'll come back with more. Stay with us on the Sam Bourquin Show on a 3-question Thursday. Stay with us.
Looking for a fun-filled way to celebrate the spring season? Head to SpringFest at Spring Hill Historic Home in Massillon this Saturday, May 17th from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. This all-ages event is packed with something for everyone. Over 20 artisan and craft vendors, tasty eats from D3K Dogs and Boba Tea-licious. Live music from the Canal Street Ramblers and Maddie Starr. Plus crafts, games, and a scavenger hunt. Tour the historic 1821 farmhouse and don't miss the t-shirt printing bar by Sassy Mama Creative Designs. Shop unique finds from favorites like the Red Geranium, Molly B's Candle Company, A Wandering Palette, and Ebb the Creator, just to name a few. Admission is $10 for adults, $5 for youth ages 6 to 12, and free for kids 5 and under. Get your tickets now on Eventbrite. And your love of all things spring to Spring Hill Historic Home this Saturday, 11 to 4.
With love I will build a wonderful thing that makes this life better for you and for me.
For 100 years and counting, Shriners Hospitals for Children has been creating wonderful opportunities for children in need. This life-changing medical care helps them do the things they've always dreamed of.
Shriners Hospitals for Children has done so much for me and so many other kids.
I can dance.
I can play games with my friends.
Because of Shriners Hospitals for Children, I have no limits, and I'm doing more than what I ever thought possible.
To find out more about how children in need are being helped every day, go to loveshriners.org today.
Do you worry about how much someone drinks?
Do you feel angry or depressed most of the time? Do you feel neglected or unloved?
Do you feel you attract people who tend to be compulsive or abusive?
Do you have money problems because of someone else's drinking?
Are you afraid or embarrassed to bring your friends home?
Do you feel that if the drinker loved you, she or he would stop drinking?
If you answered yes to any of these questions, you are not alone.
More than half of all adults have a family history of alcoholism.
Not everyone trapped by alcohol is an alcoholic.
Families and friends are suffering too. Al-Anon and Alateen can help. Call 1-866-200-0223 or visit alanon.org/help.
You're listening to the Sam Bourquin Show on AM 1310 WDPN.
Welcome back, everybody. Phone lines are open for you at 330-821-1310. Three-question Thursday continues. Question 1, what will the Cleveland Browns record be this year? Question 2, should the Cavaliers bring back LeBron James? Question number 3, your all-time celebrity crush. Let me read a couple more of these, and then I want to kick it over to Ryan for a minute. Let's see here. Where did we leave off? Dun, 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 dun. Neil says the Browns will go 5-12. Bring LeBron back only if he stops the flopping crap. His celebrity crush was Demi Moore. James Hoopbridge says the Browns will go 6-11. No on LeBron. Alyssa Milano is his all-time celebrity crush. Let's see here. Bill Hawk says the Browns will go 8-8. No on LeBron. Farrah Fawcett was his celebrity crush. Michael Lanzo, Browns will go 7-10. No LeBron. His celebrity crush was Jennifer Aniston. Let's see here. Adam Heyman. Hello, Adam. Browns will go 3-14. No on LeBron. His celebrity crush was Kate Beckinsale. Good pick right there. Jason Johnson, 3-14 for the Browns. No on LeBron. Jennifer Aniston, his celebrity crush. And one more here during this segment. Now, let me give you two more. Stacey Martin, the Browns will go 9-8. No thanks for LeBron, his celebrity crush. And he even sent in a photo. Sarah Palin. How about that? The big guy, the pride of Barberton, John Stetz. He says the Browns will go 6-11. No on LeBron. His celebrity crush was Raquel Welch. Good answers on the three-question Thursday. Don't forget, we'll talk some Cavs and NBA playoffs with Sean Devaney from Athlon Sports coming up at 4:40. All right, Mr. Rainsberg, I know you got a question over there for me. Before you deliver that question, I'm going to give you the quiz. Are you ready?
Yeah, I'll do my best.
All right, question number 1. Remember, there are no wrong answers here on the three-question Thursdays.
No, this is mere speculation.
Question number 1, what record will the Browns have this year?
I'm just going to it's 17-game regular season. I'm gathering from here.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's go 7 wins, 10 losses.
7-10. All right, Question number 2, should the Cavs bring LeBron back?
I think it's good for PR. I think it'd be good for morale. I'm sure a lot of people would, do the thing where they're still mad at LeBron for leaving, but I'm sure a lot of the fans would be really happy to have him back to Cleveland. So I think it could be a real morale boost.
I think the fans would be ecstatic.
Yeah,
I really
agree.
do. All right, the most important question of the quiz, number
Absolutely.
3, your celebrity crush. Who is it?
Oh, somebody already took mine, but it's Kate Beckinsale.
Kate Beckinsale.
Yeah, that was my childhood crush for sure.
Okay.
Underworld, man.
Good. Yes. Great movie. No, good movie. Great Kate.
Yeah.
How's that sound?
Classic Kate.
All right. Now, I understand we had a question. We didn't get to it yesterday from Buck in Louisville.
Yes.
But I wanted to kind of circle back to that here today.
He wants to know what front office you trust to build a championship roster and bring a title to Cleveland. Brown, Cavs, or Guardians?
Well, I can tell you who I don't.
Me too, I think.
So that takes the Browns out.
Yep.
The Guardians front office, with what they have, I think does an incredible job. With the lack of finances, the lack of big spending power, I think they do an incredible job. I think Dan Gilbert and Kobe Altman do a terrific job. Remember, there's no such thing as there is a salary cap in the NBA, but there are ways to wiggle and move and shake, and I think the Cavaliers have become a pretty good organization at doing that. That is a great question, because I want to take the the easy road out. I say, oh, well, it's either the Guardians or the Cavaliers. But I'm going to say I'm going to say it's the Guardians. I'm going to by a skosh.
I agree.
And it's because I think their hands are tied so much that what they do and what they're able to do in their situation, I would give them the edge. And people say, how can you say that when the Cavaliers won a championship in 2016? Our front office didn't have to be real imaginative there. You had LeBron. You made that move for Kevin Love. You had Kyrie. I mean, it was like, okay, you better win one here. I mean, my God, you went 4 years in a row, okay? So because of the constrictions, I'm going to say Guardians, but I tip my hat to Dan Gilbert in the Cavaliers as well. All right, 4:30. Our good buddy Jeff Mears is coming up with all the news. We got the weather. We'll come back and talk Cavaliers' future with Sean Devaney from Athlon Sports. We'll get back into the quiz and more here on 1310.
Here's the latest news on AM 1310 WDPN.
Good afternoon. It's 4:30. The Supreme Court is weighing whether to allow President Trump's restrictions on birthright citizenship to temporarily take effect in most of the country, even if they might ultimately be found unconstitutional. The justices heard arguments today in the Trump administration's emergency appeals over lower court orders that have kept the citizenship restrictions on hold across the country while lawsuits go forward. Nationwide or universal, injunctions have emerged as an important check on the president's efforts to remake the government and a mounting frustration to him and his allies. Solicitor General John Sauer told the court judges have issued 40 nationwide injunctions since Trump began his second term in January. President Trump is winding down his Mideast trip and is at his final country, the United Arab Emirates, today. The president is also signing another investment deal, the third on this trip, and ABC's Karen Travers, who is traveling with the president, says he's getting another warm welcome.
The red carpet is being rolled out for the president with lavish events, that private tour at the Grand Mosque, and dinner again tonight here. We just heard some fireworks, actually, from our balcony, which we assume are for the president, because everything in these countries that we've been to over the last couple of days has all been aimed at rolling out this big welcome for the American president and the delegation that traveled with him, including many businessmen, too.
Americans rushed to buy imported goods ahead of Washington's threatened tariffs slowed to a crawl last month. The numbers have seesawed this year as President Trump has first promised and then backed away from steep tariffs on imports. Consumers went on a buying spree in March to beat the expected price increases and apparently bought all they wanted then. Retail sales in April were up only 0.1% month to month. The Menendez brothers may get to try for parole sooner than expected, as we hear from ABC's Alex Stone in Los Angeles.
The Menendez brothers have had a parole board hearing set for next month, but that was meant to be for the governor to help him decide whether he will grant them clemency. After an LA judge resentenced the brothers this week, making them eligible for parole, sources are telling ABC News Governor Gavin Newsom is now changing next month's hearing from a clemency hearing into a regular parole board hearing. That means they can try for parole sooner than previously expected. Alex Stone, ABC News, Los Angeles.
A baby born with a rare and dangerous genetic disease is thriving after getting an experimental gene editing treatment made just for him. Researchers say the Pennsylvania boy is among the first to be successfully treated with a custom gene editing therapy. They described his case in a study published today in the New England Journal of Medicine. Though it may be a while before similar personalized treatments are available for others, doctors hope the technology can someday help millions who have been left behind by genetic medicine because their diseases are so rare. It's 81 degrees in Alliance at 4:32. This is WDPN News. I'm Jeff Mears.
Meteorologist Mark Johnson has the latest forecast on AM 1310 WDPN.
A little bit of Thursday sunshine during the afternoon, mixing with clouds. Going to be warm, a little muggy, 82 degrees. We'll throw in an isolated afternoon thunder shower. Overnight, scattered rain and thunder, mainly after midnight. Our low, 67. I am RJ Weather from News 5.
Do you have trouble getting in and out of the bathtub? Are you afraid you'll slip and fall entering or exiting a tub? Safe Step walk-in tubs can transform your bathtub from an area of concern to a calming refuge. Call them today at 1-800-498-2098 and save $1,600. Safe Step walk-in tubs and showers are proudly made in Tennessee and offer an ultra-low step-in, avoiding that difficult climb over a traditional bathtub wall. They also offer a variety of therapeutic benefits that may help soothe your aching muscles and joints, increasing your mobility, boosting your energy, and improving your sleep. Safe Step walk-in tubs are designed to easily fit your existing tub space and are often installed in as little as 1 day. Just dial 1-800-498-2098 today to save $1,600 and receive a free shower package. That's 1-800-498-2098 for a free no-obligation consultation and to save $1,600. Safe Step walk-in tubs. Safety never felt so good.
Standing at the edge of a rocky shore, you breathe in the cool, salty air, watching the sun disappear on the horizon. Across the globe, someone begins their day along a sandy beach, listening to the rhythm of the crashing waves. You each envision a world beneath the water, vibrant life in every imaginable form. Now, imagine it's all gone. What was once a place of wonder and beauty is now a dull, lifeless wasteland. Food, jobs, medicine, all gifts from the ocean, all gone. Time is running out to protect our oceans, and without our love, everything the oceans provide can and will disappear. It's our choice. Love it or lose it. Help protect our oceans. Visit World Wildlife Fund at wwf.org/love.
You're listening to the Sam Bourquin Show on AM 1310 WDPN.
And welcome back to the program. We are with you until 6 o'clock. And hey, make a date. Let's get together Monday through Friday, 3 until 6, right here on 1310 WDPN. A great way to start your day. Rex in the mornings at 6 a.m. And then John Tesh comes along 10 until 3. And then it's the Sam Bourquin Show Monday through Friday, right here, AM 1310 WDPN. And you can always listen to us on the stream at am1310wdpn.com. Don't forget, if you want to watch the program, you can do that as well on the Q92 Radio Facebook page and YouTube channel. And while you're there, you can drop comments, and we'll read them on the air as we continue to be the interactive show that you've come to love here on 1310. 3-question Thursday today. Having some fun with this afternoon. Cleveland Browns season record, number 1. Number 2, should the Cavaliers bring back LeBron James? Question number 3, who's your all-time celebrity crush? 330-821-1310. You can always text the program at 330-924-7088. Want to thank Fred Greetham from the Orange and Brown Report in the 3 o'clock hour for talking Browns mini camp and, of course, the Browns schedule coming up here in 2025. Guardians off today. They'll be in Cincinnati. They'll catch up with an old bud, Tito Francona, Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday afternoon. The Guards and the Reds at the Great American Ballpark. We'll touch on the Mount Union Purple Raider baseball team. They're hosting an NCAA Division III regional coming up tomorrow, just down the road at Rayfield Rogers Field. And we're going to get into that Mad movie, Nick Cage. Boy, I think that's going to be fantastic stuff. Right now, we're going to talk a little bit more Cavaliers and more of a look ahead to the future. We'll talk a little NBA postseason as well from Athlon Sports. Sean Devaney, kind enough to give us a little bit of time here on the Sam Bourquin Show. Sean, good afternoon. How's your Thursday going?
Pretty good. How are you?
Good, man. Appreciate you taking the time. I guess today's like the day I'm going to kind of say goodbye to the Cavaliers season. I don't really want to. I'm still kind of fighting it a little bit, but you got to move on at some point. But just your thoughts overall on the season, and I guess you can throw in a little bit of the regular season, but the playoffs and how it just was another disappointing end, and we'll go on from there. But put a wrap on it. What'd you see?
Yeah, I mean, obviously a great regular season. I don't think you can just discount that. But everything that you were probably scared of, that they might have shown signs of during the regular season, came up and really bit them in the playoffs. That was really a bad matchup against the Pacers. A team that runs, a team that really gets out and moves as well as they do. So that was the first thing. Perimeter defense was a problem. Toughness was a problem, and all that stuff came up really in the playoffs for them. So really something where after a great regular season, playoffs couldn't have been more disappointing.
The one thing that did surprise me a little bit, Sean, I thought that Rick Carlisle kind of gave Kenny Atkinson a little playoff baptism in that second round series. Did that surprise you at all? How do you look at that?
Yeah, I thought there were some questionable decisions. DeAndre Hunter, maybe should have started. Maybe some of the other, in terms of personnel and how can he use them. That was one thing. I thought again, the perimeter stuff, the way the Pacers were able to expose them by pushing the tempo, by hitting 42% of their 3-pointers and holding the Cavs to 29%. Really exposing some of those things for the Cavaliers. Obviously there were a couple injuries, but I think it went way past that. This was something where, this is something where I think you could really point to some deficiencies on Kenny's part. Having them ready for down the stretch, a couple of those games that were close, where they really kind of blew it down, especially game 2. That was that's coaching, and that was something where it was clear that Rick Carlisle outdid Kenny Atkinson in this series.
Sean Devaney joining us from Athlon Sports here on 1310 WDPN, the Sam Bourquin Show. I was a little leery, Sean, and I said it on the program. I wasn't afraid. I wasn't scared of the Pacers, but I was a little leery just because of the matchup problems, the way they can whip the ball around the perimeter. They hit the glass. They're go, go, go. They're like on a Red Bull for 48 minutes.
Yeah.
We just couldn't ever get there. And a side off of that is, we should have been a darn well-rested team, and it still looked like we were just sucking air a lot down the stretch in those games.
Yeah, and that's a big issue, and it's one that's tough to figure out how do you fix that, because it is team wide. It is something where look, the Cavaliers can play fast pace. I mean, they've done it during the season. They were one of the faster paced teams in the league. It's just they don't do it the way the Pacers do it, and the Pacers do it pretty much better than anybody in the Eastern Conference. I think the way they picked up Darius Garland, especially after the injury, picked him up at 3/4 court, and forced him to work so much. They really did wear down that Cavaliers team. So the question becomes, okay, how do you fix that? And that's tough, because it's not like you can just bring in one player who's going to fix all of that. It's something where this is going to be a matchup problem for them. If they face a team that can run the way the Pacers can run. And when you look at the Eastern Conference, it's not like there's a ton of teams that can do that, but there's some teams that are capable. Detroit, I think, will do that more as they progress around Cade Cunningham. The Knicks are capable of doing that with Jalen Brunson and with as many defensive guys, good athletic defensive guys that they've got on that team. So, yeah, I do think that's a real problem for the Cavs, and I think the bigger problem is when you get to, okay, how do we fix that? I don't think there's an easy answer.
Sean Devaney is our guest from Athlon Sports. Check him out at Athlon Sports. Does a great job. Check him out on X. Great content. I ran a poll question yesterday, Sean, and it was the core four for the Cavaliers. A, break it up. B, run it back. And it was about 60% run it back. And then it got to me thinking last night, okay, I think we've seen the ceiling maybe with this group, and not the core four. Man, I'm still a little bit leery on Garland and Allen. I think our bench needs a little bit of an overhaul. But then I really went down the rabbit hole, and I was like, oh, you know what? Is it time? Is it time to bring number 23 back home again? One last time with this group. The man can still play, figure out a way to make it work financially. You might have to give up a piece or two. Let's give it a shot. Am I crazy there?
Probably. It would have to be something where he opts in and agrees to a trade, that sort of thing. Just financially, he's not going to. And we know enough about LeBron. He's not going to take a veteran minimum. He's not going to play for anything less than he feels. He's not that kind of guy. So he's going to want the full number. And you look at the Cavaliers; they're in the second apron. It's going to be tough for them to do anything like that. They'll have to give up a lot to bring him back. Probably more realistic. And I don't think he really wants to leave Los Angeles, by the way. Probably the more realistic, if there's something that's going to happen on that level, would be Kevin Durant. Is something that would be a more realistic possibility. Again, I don't know that he solves all your problems because he certainly makes things different. But he also brings some different problems because, he's not a great up-tempo guy himself. And, it's not like, especially since he left the Warriors 10 years ago, it's not like he's done a whole lot of winning either. So, that would be a more realistic possibility, but I'm not sure it really makes the Cavs that much better.
You're crushing me over here, man.
I'm sorry.
I know.
Sam. I could have lied to you, but I just didn't think I ought to do this.
Better to give me the cold hard truth. I need it.
There you go.
I've also saw some other stuff thrown around over the internet, which is a great place to see that kind of stuff. Sure. Some Cavaliers fans, hey, what about Garland and Allen and somebody for Giannis Antetokounmpo? I mean, that would never happen, right? Or would it?
No, I don't think so. One of the things that the Cavs have, one of the issues that they have is that they've had to give up picks, right, to bring in Mitchell and to bring in DeAndre Hunter. They don't have their pick this year. I think it's only one pick that they can trade right now.
Yep.
And if you're Milwaukee and you're giving up Giannis, you're going to want at least 4 picks plus some players. So as good as Garland and Allen are, if I'm Milwaukee, I want more bites of the apple in terms of getting draft picks. So. I don't think the Cavaliers are in position to do that. Now, could they get involved in a bigger trade? Something along the lines of the whole Lauri Markkanen thing. Like a major trade like that. Yeah, absolutely. I think we'll see some of that this summer. So yeah, there's certainly a chance that they could do something that way. But in terms of being the one that winds up landing Giannis, I just don't see that happening.
Sean, what is your take on Darius Garland and Jared Allen? What do you think their ceiling is? How much? I mean, they're still Darius is really young. Jared's got a little bit under his belt, but when you see those two guys, can they go a whole lot? What's the ceiling with both?
Yeah, I think they're both in their prime. I think they're both sort of at their ceiling. And you see the pluses. Obviously, Darius when he's on, he's a great 3-point shooter. He's made himself into a great 3-point shooter. He deserves a lot of credit for that. And he's been, he's not a great point guard, but he's certainly a very good, game manager type point guard. He's going to be able to get the ball up and get your offense going, and he's going to get 6-7 assists a game, and and he could score. But he's not on Donovan Mitchell's level, and he's not one of the best point guards in the game. So yeah, he kind of is where he is, and the fact that he's not a great defender playing alongside Donovan Mitchell, that makes it tough. And I think that really showed in that series. And you can say much the same with Jared Allen. I think Jared Allen is a great player, especially when he's playing alongside Evan Mobley. Evan Mobley really seems to raise his level a little bit. But on his own, he's kind of, he's maybe a step above a Mitchell Robinson or somebody like that with the Knicks. He's a good, solid center, but not necessarily one of the best in the game. And, of course, the problem is that they're paying both of those guys pretty handsomely. And so if you do want to move off them, it's going to be tough because you have to find somebody to take those contracts back, which isn't going to be easy. So that gets back to your poll question, which, running it back might be the right thing to do, just because I'm not sure there's a deal out there that's really going to do a lot to change those things.
Yeah. Sean Devaney is our guest from Athlon Sports. We got into that conversation too. Sometimes we just got to step back. Look how long it took Jordan to get his title. Look how long it took Tatum to get it with Boston and some other guys in the NBA. You got to go 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, sometimes 8 years. We all want everything so quickly. And I myself am so guilty of looking at this roster. I know how young they are. I know it's a baby steps thing with the NBA to go from here to there. But you want it to happen right now. But I think you could probably talk me into, let's run it back. Maybe not just 1 year, 2 years, maybe 3 years if you can keep the core together. And, if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. But I think time is on their side.
Yeah, and I agree with you, and it's an important point. Look, I mean, the way that the things are with the aprons and all that stuff, the championship windows are shorter than they used to be. There's no question about that. But they don't have to slam closed after 2 years. You mentioned the Celtics. That's a great. I'm here in Boston, and for years, the conversation was they've got to trade either Jaylen Brown or Jason Tatum. You can't win a championship with both of those guys, and of course, they won a championship with both of those guys. I think, the Nuggets are a good example as well. Before they wound up winning the championship back in 2023, they banged their heads against the wall several times, and it was, well, they got to get rid of Murray, they got to get rid of this guy, they got to get rid of that guy, and they actually got ousted in the first round of the playoffs in 2022, and then came back, and they had been to the conference finals, they had been to the semi, they've been sort of banging their heads against the wall, and then in 2023 it all kind of comes together and they break through. Those are definitely some lessons, I think, for Cavaliers fans. Look at those teams. They had to go through some things before they wind up winning a championship, and that's sort of where this team is now. Look, they need to get another player. They need somebody to kind of fall in their lap, no question. But you've got to keep yourself open to that.
Couple more, and I'll let you run. You led me right into the next one. What makes sense financially, team-wise, everything? Who do you go after if you're the Cavaliers?
Yeah, if they were to make a trade, if they were to trade Darius Garland, for instance, I think making a trade for Drew Holiday would make that kind of guy would make some sense. Obviously he's an older guy, but he's experienced and he's got a certain level of toughness and he can play defense. You need a guy who can play defense next to Mitchell. There's no question that was one of the things that really got exposed. Obviously, in fairness to Darius Garland, he wasn't 100% when he was out there, but at the same time, that's clearly what they need. You look at Oklahoma City, they got Alex Caruso. I think he's been a great fit for them. That's the kind of player. He's not going to be available now, obviously, but that's the kind of player I think this team really needs. Somebody who can take some pressure off Donovan in terms of handle the ball, but most important can be an excellent defensive player out there on the perimeter.
All right, it's a 3-question Thursday here on the show. Are you ready to take the 3-question Thursday quiz? Here we go.
Let's go.
Here we go. All right, question number 1, Cleveland Browns season record. What will it end up?
Oh boy, probably not very good, right? So I'm going to say, I'll say 4-13.
That's exactly where I've got them. Question 2, we've already touched on. Should the Cavs bring back LeBron? So we'll go over that one. Question number 3, Sean Devaney, your all-time celebrity crush. Who is it?
I'm going to reveal how old I am.
It's all right.
But probably, can I go way back to Lonnie Anderson? Anybody remember?
Whoa, Lonnie Anderson! Wow, how about
that's how old I am.
Wow, I did not have that on my bingo card. I got to tell you that. Lonnie Anderson, outstanding. Sean, always a pleasure, man. I love talking hoops with you. We'll do it again. I appreciate the time and all the best, my friend. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Sam.
You got it. Sean Devaney from Athlon Sports here on the Sam Bourquin Show. Lonnie Anderson. That's WKRP in Cincinnati, Lonnie Anderson, right? Holy cow. No, I did not have that on my bingo card. All right. 8 minutes until the top of the hour. Let's get a couple more calls in after the break. 330-821-1310. We'll read your text as well. We'll go back over the 3-question Thursday quiz, and we'll read some of your comments as well here on the Sam Bourquin Show. Hang out with us, everybody. Have a great day. 1310 WDPN.
Possibilities are all around us. We see potential in unexpected places. And when we share our knowledge, vision, and connections, we turn great ideas into action. Together, we can make real change happen. We're Rotary. We are people of action. Get involved today at rotary.org/action.
Every 65 seconds, someone in the United States develops Alzheimer's disease. Many don't even know it.
I just knew that I wasn't the high-performing person I used to be. Pieces of my past are being erased. I was lucky we caught this at the very earliest stages. I hope that my story can give other people hope. There is life to be lived. Increasingly, there will be treatments. We need to invest even more in research and finding treatments and cures.
Bright Focus Foundation's Alzheimer's Disease Research Program has invested more than $175 million in breakthrough research.
If your loved one or you yourself are sitting there thinking, something is wrong, I'm not who I used to be, you can get some answers and you can get them for free.
Call us at 1-855-345-6237 or visit us online at brightfocus.org/brainhealth to learn more. Every 65 seconds, someone in the United States develops Alzheimer's disease. Many don't even know it.
I was lucky. We caught this at the very earliest stages. Pieces of my past are being erased.
Bright Focus Foundation's Alzheimer's Disease Research Program has invested more than $175 million in breakthrough research. Call us at 1-855-345-6237 or visit us online at brightfocus.org/brainhealth to learn more.
This is the Sam Bourquin Show on AM 1310 WDPN.
All right, we're back for the final 5 minutes or so here in the 4 o'clock hour. I want to apologize. I'm having I think I'm starting to get a little head cold, and the sinuses are going crazy. I apologize for that today, but hopefully we'll sound a lot better tomorrow.
Just keep eating those cherry cough drops that are smelling up the whole studio.
I got them. It's like, I don't feel bad. I don't feel sick.
You don't sound that bad.
But I feel like I sound like, bleh. So I apologize for that. Hopefully get better. Maybe when I go out and mow tonight, I'll absorb a different kind of pollen, and maybe it'll just help me. And I'll sound better tomorrow.
Is that how allergies work?
That's how that works. Sure.
Oh, I've been doing so much wrong this whole time. Oh my God.
Oh my gosh. Hey, I was reading a story here about Shohei Ohtani bobblehead fever gripping LA. The Dodgers are giving away Ohtani 50-50 bobbleheads to every fan in attendance at today's game. This is an absolute zoo. Now, usually bobbleheads are offered to the first 40,000 fans in attendance. This one, everybody gets one. People are already putting them on eBay at $150, but nobody even has a bobblehead yet. The lines around the stadium are absolutely insane. Thousands and thousands of people have been standing in line all morning, all afternoon. It is unbelievable. Now, 18,000, the first 18,000 fans will get a bobblehead. But there's a little bit of a catch here. And they're trying, it's hard to explain how they're doing this. I mentioned they usually give out to the first 40,000. This one is the first 18,000. So thus, there are tens of thousands of people already lined up around the stadium. And I mean, the Dodgers it's crazy out in LA. They love their team. They get between 48 and 52,000 people every game. Some fans have been lined up over 10 hours already before the first pitch, so they get their bobblehead. Unbelievable. This is nuts. Let's see here. They did a Mookie Betts bobblehead night Tuesday. That was where they capped it at 40,000 for Mookie. And I'm seeing some of the pictures here of the lines, people waiting to get in. It's unbelievable. It really is. How long would you wait? Are you a bobblehead guy at all?
I'm not really a knick-knack kind of guy, honestly. I end up with knickknacks from like friends and family members because they know I like things, but I don't usually buy myself stuff.
Yeah, I'm not really a big bobblehead guy. Now I've got like 4 or 5 at home. I've got a couple of LeBrons. I've got a Mike Hargrove. I've got a couple other ones, but they were like either gifted to me or I got them from the organization.
Exactly.
Because being in the media, and they said, hey, here's whatever. But I can't say that I've like, oh, I gotta get to this game and I gotta be there 4 days beforehand so I can get a bobblehead.
Now,
I really haven't gotten that crazy about it.
I can understand that level of crazy obsession for something. I won't say I can't understand that because I'm the guy that sat out front of GameStop for midnight releases when I was in high school. So
boy.
I can't say those people are crazy because I'm technically one of those people. So at least I was when I was 15.
Okay, but not anymore, right?
No, I'm too old for that.
That would worry me.
Oh my God, no,
Okay.
not at this age. You're out of your mind.
That's good.
I'm not even. No,
that's good to hear.
That's young man stuff.
Whew, had me worried there for a minute.
Get way too old for that.
All right, news and weather coming up here at the top of the hour. We've got one more big hour to go. The 3-question Thursday quiz continues. We'll talk about that movie about John Madden starring Nick Cage, and we'll get back into the quiz, and we'll take a final look back at the Cavs and talk a little Guardians and Reds as well. So stay with us. One more big hour to go on the Sam Bourquin Show on 1310 WDPN.
An Alliance tradition for over half a century. You can always count on WDPN Alliance.
ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. A delegation from Ukraine and Russia has arrived for the first direct talks between the two countries in more than 3 years. Ukraine's President Zelensky inviting President Vladimir Putin for a face-to-face meeting in Istanbul, but a Russian spokesperson says Russia's leader will not be there. ABC's Ian Pannell is in Istanbul.
I think there are real questions about how serious Russia is about these talks, given the delegation that they've taken. The optimist would say, well, any kind of conversation, any kind of talks will be good. The pessimist would say this is Russia stalling once again.
President Trump now says he and Putin will have to meet to get a deal done. The president wrapping up his 3-day trip to the Middle East. In New York City, Cassie Ventura, the ex-girlfriend of Sean Diddy Combs, is back on the stand in his sex trafficking and racketeering trial. The defense today cross-examining Ventura on testimony Combs coerced her into having drug-fueled sex parties with escorts. This is ABC News.
Shop the Sherwin-Williams Memorial Day sale and get 30% off paints and stains May 16th through the 26th. With prices starting at $34.29, it's the perfect time to transform your space with color. Whether you're looking to revamp your bedroom, living room, or home office, we have you covered with bold hues, soothing neutrals, and everything in between. Shop the sale online or visit your neighborhood Sherwin-Williams store. Retail sales only. Some exclusions apply. See store for details.
Offer not valid in all states or where prohibited by law. Loans are subject to lender approval. See website for details.
Honey, the credit card bill came, and we're maxed out.
Maxed out cards, rent is due. We just need some extra cash to help us get by.
Maybe we should go to 27cash.com.
With our bad credit?
27cash.com is one of the largest personal loan networks. They can help people with any type of credit get up to $5,000, and cash can hit our bank account as soon as tomorrow.
When you need extra cash, go to 27cash.com. That's 27cash.com. 27cash.com.
Now, the latest Alliance area news from Jeff Mears on AM 1310 WDPN.
Good afternoon. It's 5:02. The company behind a proposed solar farm in Washington Township says it will not appeal a decision blocking the project. Stark Solar, a subsidiary of Samsung, says in a statement it's dropping plans for the 150-megawatt facility. The siting board last month denied the company's application to build the solar farm, citing opposition from area residents and local government officials. It also said Stark Solar failed to prove the project served the public interest, convenience, and necessity. The company recently terminated its option agreements with landowners. The solar farm would have been located in the southwestern portion of the township, north of Route 153. Bond is set at $1 million each for the legal guardians charged in the death of a 3-year-old Canton boy. 42-year-old Demetrius Givens and 37-year-old Jamie Thompson of Canton were arraigned today in Canton Municipal Court. They are charged with involuntary manslaughter and child endangering. Givens and Thompson allegedly refused to properly feed and care for the boy, causing him to starve to death. The activity occurred between October 1st and May 4th. Canton police were called to the boy's Gilbert Circle Northeast home May 5th after a report he wasn't breathing. He died at Mercy Hospital. Givens and Thompson are scheduled to return to court for a status conference Monday. A Stark County judge has handed down prison time to a man who admitted to sexually assaulting a girl. Common Pleas Judge Chrissa Hartnett sentenced 35-year-old David Worrell of Paris Township to 10 to 15 years behind bars Wednesday. He pleaded guilty to charges of rape and unlawful sexual conduct with a minor. The activity began in December 2021 when the victim was 12 and continued until August 2023. Worrell was given 5 years probation. He must register as a Tier 3 sex sex offender after his release. Worrell is already serving 10 to 15 years. He pleaded guilty in 2023 to rape and gross sexual imposition. The charges stemmed from abuse of another 12-year-old girl. The activity happened between February and August of 2022. The sentences will be served consecutively. Officers from multiple area police departments took part in today's Peace Officers Memorial Ceremony outside the Stark County Sheriff's Office. Family members recalled Vincent Ban, the Alliance police officer, died in 2012. The names of other officers who died in the line of duty were also read aloud. Carnations were placed in front of a memorial wall for each one. Sheriff Eric Weisburn said behind every name etched into the wall is a story, a journey from ordinary life to extraordinary service. A man arrested during a sex sting in Salem is free after posting bond. 36-year-old Todd Nicely of Cortland was arraigned today in Columbiana County Municipal Court on charges of engaging in prostitution, possession of criminal tools, and obstructing official business. Nicely allegedly responded to an online ad posted by an undercover agent with the Mahoning Valley Human Trafficking Task Force. He showed up at a prearranged location Wednesday night and attempted to flee on foot when he saw Salem police cruisers. Officers arrested him a short time later. Nicely reportedly had money, a cell phone used to arrange the meeting, and a piece of paper he said contained cocaine. Additional charges may be pending results of tests of the suspected drug. Nicely is a convicted sex offender. The bodies of two people were found in a Youngstown home Tuesday. The Vindicator reports police were called to a South Jackson Street home just before noon. A caller reported being locked out of his mother-in-law's home. Firefighters entered and police found the woman asleep in the living room. The bodies of a man and woman were then discovered in an upstairs bedroom. The deaths are considered possible overdoses. The coroner's office is also investigating. A man who was shot by Boardman police during a July 2021 confrontation has been convicted of all charges. A jury in Mahoning County Common Pleas Court today found 28-year-old Damian Cessna of Austintown guilty of felonious assault. He was convicted of aggravated menacing and obstructing official business in September, but jurors were unable to agree on a verdict for the felonious assault charge, and Judge Maureen Sweeney declared a mistrial. Cessna previously withdrew a guilty plea to the charge in 2023. Officers said he pulled a knife after he was seen on South Avenue riding a bicycle and carrying a baseball bat. He was shot after he refused to drop the knife. Sentencing has not been scheduled. The Trumbull County Coroner's Office has identified a man who died in a house fire in Champion Township Wednesday morning. 72-year-old Robert Antonelli was found in an upstairs bedroom at the Aspen Drive Northwest residence. He was taken to a hospital where he later died. Two other residents were also taken to a hospital. A fire captain suffered facial burns. Police Chief Larry Skaggs suffered from smoke inhalation. Both were taken to a hospital and are expected to recover. The cause is under investigation by the State Fire Marshal's office. Two suspects in a sex trafficking ring in Warren have been arraigned. 64-year-old Suk Hee Star and 62-year-old Tae Suk Hwang appeared in Trumbull County Common Pleas Court today. Star, a legal U.S. citizen, pleaded not guilty to charges of engaging in a pattern of corrupt activity, money laundering, and promoting prostitution. Hwang pleaded not guilty to the same charges, as well as a count of trafficking in persons. She is not a citizen. Bond for both women was set at $50,000. Four other suspects in the case were arraigned last week, while two others have not appeared in court. The 8 suspects were indicted after allegedly trapping Korean women at massage parlors in Warren for 3 months at a time and forcing them to have sex for money. Trumbull County commissioners have settled a lawsuit with former Commissioner Nikki Frenchko. She and open government advocates sued the Board, Record Commission, and Budget Commission, accusing them of violating the Open Meetings Act, and accused former Commissioner Mauro Cantalamessa and Sheriff Paul Monroe of improperly destroying text messages on their cell phones. No details of the settlement were released. Frenchko said the amount must be covered by the general fund. A former postal worker was sentenced in federal court Wednesday after stealing nearly $2 million in checks. 35-year-old Gregory Drake of Cleveland was sentenced to 41 months in prison after pleading guilty to conspiracy to commit bank fraud and theft of mail by a postal employee. Investigators said he stole the checks from the mail and gave them to co-conspirators to alter and deposit at banks. Several businesses in Lakewood began to report a rash of stolen checks in 2022, either mailed in or out of the Lakewood post office. That prompted an investigation by the U.S. Postal Service Office of the Inspector General. In October 2022, investigators caught Drake stealing 2 business checks from the mail. Further investigation revealed that he took 127 checks with a value of $1.9 million. The Ohio Department of Agriculture is expanding the spotted lanternfly quarantine. The counties now under quarantine are Summit, Portage, Trumbull, Carroll, Wood, and Seneca. Products such as trees and nursery stock may not be removed out of the area without a compliance agreement, permit, or inspection certificate. Producers who ship these products to non-regulated areas must have their stock inspected, and each load accompanied by a certificate confirming the product is free of the lanternfly. The updated quarantine is a result of new infestations reported throughout ODA's online Ohio Plant Pest Reporter. The spotted spotted lanternfly is native to Asia and is specifically a concern for Ohio's grape and wine industry, which contributes more than $6 billion in economic activity to the state yearly. The spotted lanternfly was first detected in the U.S. and Pennsylvania in 2014. Taking a look at Wall Street, the Dow Jones Industrial Average closed today at 42,322, up 272 points. The Nasdaq Composite ended the day 34 points lower at 19,112, and the S&P 500 closed at 5,916, up 24 points. It's 82 degrees in Alliance at 5:09. This is the local edition of WDPN News. I'm Jeff Mears.
Now, the Alliance Area Weather Forecast from Mark Johnson on AM 1310 WDPN.
Showers and possibly a thunderstorm on and off through your Wednesday afternoon. A lot of clouds, a high in the middle 70s. Overnight, evening rain and thunder, then cloudy for the most part, a low of 59. I am Mark J. Weather. Have a great afternoon.
Got big dreams of a better career? Whether you're looking to learn new skills, land your next job, or refine your resume, Ohio Means Jobs, Stark and Tuscarawas counties is here to help you turn that daydream into your day job. We will provide everything you need to succeed, from resume assistance to job search guidance and everything in between. Call us or visit our website at omjwork.com to learn more, because your future is closer than you think.
Now, the latest area news on AM 1310 WDPN.
Live from the AM 1310 WDPN studio, it's time for live and local sports talk. It's the Sam Bourquin Show.
I'm ready.
Give the show a call at 330-821-1310.
Good call, meatball.
Watch the Sam Bourquin Show on the AM 1310 Facebook page, the Q92 YouTube page, and on X. This is the Sam Bourquin Show on AM 1310 WDPN.
And Randall for three, late clock, and he carries it. Julius Randall. Get another bite at the apple. That's a ball game. Minnesota is moving on. A 121-110 victory in Game 5. And they take out the Golden State Warriors.
You can't run it back. You can't expect, it to be different. You do have right now a massive opening in the Eastern Conference, to which I say this: just go home, Bron.
There we go, the 5 o'clock hour. Excuse me. Apologize again, man. The head cold starting to take over here. We'll be better tomorrow. Welcome back to the Sam Bourquin Show, everybody. 330-821-1310. We're with you until 6 o'clock tonight. You can also text the program at 330-924-7088. Hello to all of you listening and watching us live on the Q92 Radio YouTube channel and Facebook page. The live stream is cooking at AM 1310 WDPN. And make sure you like and follow and share the 1310 WDPN Facebook page. Go do that right now. Like, share, and follow WDPN on Facebook. Get some cool content up there for you. We'll continue to do so. Been a fun show today. I want to thank my guest, Fred Greetham from the Orange and Brown Report, joining us in the 3 o'clock hour. Thanks to Athlon Sports' Sean Devaney, NBA reporter, joined us in the 4 o'clock hour. It is all you and I and us for the next 50 minutes or so. 3-question Thursday quiz today. Having a lot of fun with that. Question number 1, if you're just joining us right now. What do you think the Browns' record will be this year? Question number 2, should the Cavaliers bring back LeBron James? Question number 3, who is your all-time celebrity crush? Let us know. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all of our outstanding social media platforms. And you can follow me as well on X at Sam Bourquin 16. Great responses today. Let's read a couple of the ones that have come in here in the last hour or so. Kim, who is deep in the heart of Texas, she says the Browns will go 3-14. Yes, bring back LeBron. Keep Tristan as well. Her celebrity crush, Donnie Osmond. Diane says, the Browns will be just like every year. Yes, we'll take LeBron only if he wants to sit on the bench. She can't think of a celebrity crush. Steve Schenberger says, no comment on everything. Okay, thanks, Steve. Robin checks in. 9-8 for the Browns record. No for LeBron James. Jessica Alba is his celebrity crush. Yes. Yes. On Jessica Alba. Holy smokes. Jason Allen Murphy, listening in out in Las Vegas today. Browns will go 12-5. Oh, my God. Is it happy hour already? He says the Browns are going to go 12-5. He says Shedeur will be player of the year. Oh, boy. He says LeBron needs to stay in L.A. Kate Beckinsale is his celebrity crush. Let me get a couple more in here before we move to the next. Let's see here. Pat Murray. She says the Browns will go 5-12. No on LeBron. Her celebrity crush was Neil Diamond. And Carl Stacy says the Browns will go 5-12. Heck no on LeBron. His celebrity crush, Jennifer Lawrence. Drop those comments on Facebook, Instagram, and X. We'll read those on the air. You can also call the show at 330-821-1310. Don't forget tomorrow, a Feel Good Friday and a Fill in the Blank Friday edition of the Sam Bourquin Show. 3 o'clock tomorrow right here on 1310 WDPN. All right. The Guardians and the Reds are going to play a little baseball this weekend down in Cincinnati. Looking forward to that. Guards going to get back together with their old pal, Tito Francona. Reds, as of right now, are still kind of hovering around that 500 mark. The Guards are, let me see here. I got this written down here. Guards are playing really good baseball. They're just winning series. They are 25-18 right now. But despite that pretty good record, that's 581 baseball right there. They're 3.5 games out. I know it's really early. It's still May. But I don't think the Detroit Tigers are going to slow down. They may hit a rough patch or two, but the Motor City Kitties aren't going away. They are 17-5 at home, 12-10 on the road. The Tigers have won 3 in a row. And again, they are 29-15. Guards are 25-18, 3.5 back, 4.5 back. The Royals at 25-20. And the Twins, they've been playing some pretty good ball here. They're 23-20, 5.5 games out. White Sox, forget about it, 14-29. In the West, the Mariners lead the Astros and Rangers by 1. The A's, the Athletics, are only a game and a half out of first place. Unbelievable. What a story that would be. They're 22-21. In the American League East, quickly, the Yankees are 25-18. Boston is 22-23 in third. The Blue Jays are 500-21-21. Tampa Bay 19-21, and the Baltimore Orioles. This shocks me. I don't know what is going on down there. They are 15-26. They are already 9 games out in the East. I am shocked with what's going on with the Baltimore Orioles. NBA last night, there was a couple of games, and pretty much both of them were blowouts. One a little more of a blowout than the other. The Boston Celtics, you kind of had a feeling, at least last night. You know, the terrible injury to Jason Tatum, the torn Achilles, had his surgery yesterday. He put some pics on Instagram, letting people know how appreciative he was of all the thoughts and prayers and messages and everything. You had a feeling that the Celtics were going to beat the Knicks last night. You kind of had a feeling. Vegas told you they would. They were a 5-point favorite, but they destroyed New York last night, 127-102. So the Knicks lead Boston now 3-2. Next game is at Madison Square Garden. Oh, the pressure is on Jalen Brunson and the New York Knicks. If you go back to Boston, Game 7 in that building, Oh, you better be careful. Late last night, season over, Golden State. The Minnesota Timberwolves, 121, and the Golden State Warriors, 110. The T-Wolves win that series 4-1. Now, this game was absolutely no contest early. Okay, it was 62-47 at half. Minnesota outscored the Warriors 31-25 in the third. I mean, it was a beatdown. But I hung around because I wanted to see if the spread would come into play. The game closed 10. Game closed at Minnesota minus 10. There were some 10.5s out there. So what happens in the fourth quarter? All of a sudden, Golden State gets hot. They outscore the Wolves by 10, but Minnesota holds on for the win and the cover, 121-110. So that series is over. So it's looking like, if I just had to stare into the crystal ball right now, it looks like in the East, I'm going to say New York does it. I'm going to say Knicks Pacers in the Eastern Conference Finals. And I think it will be Minnesota and or OKC, of course, in the West. That's a pretty good Final Four for the NBA. Little bit of new blood. A lot of people remember some of the great playoff matchups between the Knicks and Pacers in the East back in the day. I think the conference I don't know, but I think the conference finals should be really, really good. They should be really, really good. And the NBA finals should be fantastic. But we'll see. NBA playoffs this year have been really good sometimes, and they've been really bad. There have been a lot of blowouts. But I think the conference finals and the NBA finals should be really, really, really entertaining. All right, we're coming up on 22 minutes after the hour. Phone lines are open at 330-821-1310. You can text the program at 330-924-7088. We'll get back into the 3-question Thursday quiz, and we'll have some fun here on the Sam Bourquin Show. Stay with us, 1310 WDPN. And if you're watching, we continue to do that for you as well on the Q92 Radio Facebook page and YouTube channel. We'll be right back.
In classrooms across the country, chronic absenteeism is on the rise.
Sophia A., grade 4, absent. Julio M., grade 6, absent.
Aisha S., grade 12, absent.
These absences are often due to the absence of crucial needs, like transportation, healthcare, a working computer, mental health support. The list goes on.
Olivia H., absent. Preston L., absent.
Chloe B., absent.
The reasons why they're absent are very real, and yet the solution is someone present to help them along their path. When site coordinators from communities and schools are on hand, they connect kids to the resources they need. And when they do, 99% of students are present and remain in school throughout the year.
Jacob O., grade 10, present.
Communities and Schools works directly with students, helping them overcome obstacles to succeed in school and in life. Learn more at communitiesinschools.org. Being present matters.
We are the keepers of the wild, America's original and most invested conservationists. For more than 80 years, we've been committed to conserving wildlife and the natural landscapes that define our nation. From rugged alpine ridgelines to peaceful tall grass prairies, we've supported the conservation of more than 36 million acres of American wildlands. Our funding has led to cleaner water, fresher air, and improved wildlife habitat. From abundant fish and waterfowl populations to robust deer and elk herds, nothing is more important than maintaining wild spaces for adventurers to explore and wildlife to thrive. We are America's hunters and target shooters, stewards of the American outdoors.
America's hunters and target shooters, along with firearm, ammunition, and archery manufacturers, have invested more than $46 billion to help state fish and wildlife agencies manage and protect wildlife and wildlands across America. For more information, visit outdoorstewards.org.
You're listening to the Sam Bourquin Show on AM 1310 WDPN.
Welcome back, everybody. Hope you are having a wonderful day. We certainly appreciate you tuning in today, watching, commenting. Don't forget to share and like and follow us on 1310 WDPN on X and also on Facebook. And don't forget, you can check us out on the Q92 Radio Facebook page and YouTube channel as well. On this day in sports history, right around the corner, but as you know, my super duper producer, Ryan Rainsberg, big movie buff.
You could say that.
He's got some favorite actors, some favorite actresses, but we are both really looking forward. There's a movie coming out, and it's going to be about the life, the man, the coach, the legend, John Madden, which is fascinating enough in itself. But when you bring Nick Cage into the fold to play John Madden, I think this is going to be fantastic. I mean, I'm not saying this is the movie I've looked forward to my entire life, but I think with Christian Bale as Al Davis and Nick Cage is going to be John Madden. We've seen a couple of photos of those two together. Rainsberg, I think this is going to be beyond incredible.
Yeah, I agree. I'm a kind of a sucker for Nick Cage. He makes good movies and he makes terrible movies, and I like both. So, and Christian Bale might not be the nicest guy on the planet, but that's not what we're here to talk about. He is a fantastic actor. So yes, I also think this is going to be. I'm very excited. I cannot express my excitement for this one.
Yeah. Now there's no release date, so that's one thing. It's currently in production in Atlanta right now. It's being directed by David O. Russell. Okay. You might remember him, Three Kings, American Hustle, The Fighter. But this, I think this is going to be. This is going to be really good.
That's a good director.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's going to be based on. Yeah, based on an earlier script by Cameron Clark. Madden, the movie, also features John Mulaney as EA Sports founder Trip Hawkins.
That's going to be good.
Catherine Hahn is John's wife, Virginia Madden, and Sienna Miller as Carol Davis, the wife of Raiders owner Al Davis. Again, no release date, but as soon as that comes out, we will be sure to fill you in there because I think this is going to be. And when I first heard about, okay, Nick Cage is going to be John Madden, I'm like, that's not going to work. Then I saw the picture. I mean, it's John Madden. Yeah, I mean, it really is John Madden. It really
is.
It is absolutely incredible. So we are certainly looking forward to that, just like we always look forward to on this day in sports history. Here on 1310 WDPN, the Sam Bourquin Show. And on this day in history, all the way back in 1862, Brooklyn's Union Grounds opened up. It was the first enclosed baseball park. How about that? 1941, Joe DiMaggio began his Major League leading hitting streak of 56 games. More on that coming up. 1965, the Canadian Football Players Association was organized. 1991, U.S. President George Bush took Queen Elizabeth to an Oakland A's Baltimore Orioles game. 1993, one of my favorite franchises, no longer with us, the Montreal Expos retired the number of Rusty Staub. He wore number 10. It was the first number ever retired by the Montreal Expos. 1993, down in San Antonio, the Alamo Dome would open up for the first time. All right. Audio time on this day in sports history. We told you about Joltin' Joe DiMaggio. Remember, his 56-game hitting streak was stopped in Cleveland. Here's Joe D kind of telling us how it all happened. Joe's 56-game hitting streak came to an end. Kenny Keltner, third baseman for the Indians, turned a double play, and the streak would end at 56. On this day in 1973, Nolan Ryan from the California Angels pitched his first no-hitter. And Nolan Ryan would go on to throw many, many more no-hitters in his career. And finally, on this day in 2016, remember this, Rougned Odor from the Rangers punched, and I mean drilled, Jose Bautista from the Toronto Blue Jays in the face after Bautista made a hard slide into the second base. Odor was suspended 2 days later for 8 games. Here's how it sounded back in 2016. And he did. I'll never forget it. Bautista, he got hit so hard in his jaw, his sunglasses and helmet flew off of his head, and he went down. That is our Today in Sports History. We do it Monday through Friday right here on the Sam Bourquin Show, 1310 WDPN. We'll take a break. The news is next.
The latest news and the current Alliance area weather forecast are up next on AM 1310 WDPN.
Good afternoon. It's 5:30. House Republicans are meeting to talk out their differences on the budget bill that aims to cut about $2 trillion from the federal government. ABC's Jay O'Brien says some hardline Republicans don't think the cuts go far enough, and lawmakers from states that pay higher taxes want limits on the state and local tax deductions or SALT deductions to be higher.
The Speaker is still meeting with these holdouts who have a number of policy disagreements with this massive piece of legislation that's going to be the vehicle for all of President Trump's campaign promises. What Republicans have officially named, by the way, as of today, the One Big Beautiful Bill Act, taking what the president calls it, putting into legislative language.
President Trump arrived in the United Arab Emirates today for the final leg of his first major foreign trip. Air Force One was given a fighter jet escort into the country's airspace, just as Saudi Arabia and Qatar offered on the first stops of his Mideast trip. Trump was greeted by the president of the UAE and later headed to the Sheikh Zayed Grand Mosque, among the largest mosques in the world. He's attending a state dinner at the presidential palace in Abu Dhabi. Russia and Ukraine are set to hold their first direct peace talks in 3 years, but hopes for a breakthrough remain dim after Russian President Vladimir Putin spurned an offer by Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky to meet face-to-face in Turkey. Zelensky said he's sending a team to Istanbul to meet a Russian delegation, even though Moscow's side doesn't include anyone who actually makes decisions. Few had expected Putin to show up in Turkey, and it punctured any hope of progress on ending the 3-year-old war that was given a push in recent months by the Trump administration and Western European leaders. Deadly flooding and heavy rains targeted portions of the east this morning. Here's ABC News Chief Meteorologist Ginger Z.
Flood-ravaged Western Maryland, expecting the National Guard to help in the cleanup after almost a half-foot of rain fell in 1 hour. Adults putting kids on their shoulders to escape the flooding. Dustin Nash carrying his soon-to-be stepdaughter, Aria.
At lunch, I looked at the window and it was starting to rain a little bit and flood.
Until I got there, none of us knew that it was flooding as bad as it was.
Thankfully, that storm is moving on and becoming much lighter.
R&B singer Cassie has been forced to read aloud her explicit messages with former boyfriend Sean Diddy Combs during his sex trafficking trial. Combs' lawyers began cross-examining Cassie today. In some of the messages, she expresses enthusiasm for the sexual encounters with other men orchestrated by Combs that she disparaged in previous testimony. Cassie testified Wednesday that Combs raped her in 2018 and coerced her into participating in the so-called freak-off sex encounters with male escorts that made her feel ashamed. Combs denies the sex trafficking allegations and says the sex during the encounters was consensual. It's 82 degrees in Alliance at 5:32. This is WDPN News. I'm Jeff Mears.
Here's Mark Johnson's forecast on AM 1310 WDPN.
A mix of clouds and sunshine through your Thursday afternoon. Just 1 or 2 isolated thunder showers here and there. Overnight, slight chance for a severe storm. After midnight, our low 67. I am Mark J. Weather. Have a great afternoon.
Do you have trouble getting in and out of the bathtub? Are you afraid you'll slip and fall entering or exiting a tub? Safe Step walk-in tubs can transform your bathtub from an area of concern to a calming refuge. Call them today at 1-800-498-2098 and save $1,600. SafeStep walk-in tubs and showers are proudly made in Tennessee and offer an ultra-low step-in, avoiding that difficult climb over a traditional bathtub wall. They also offer a variety of therapeutic benefits that may help soothe your aching muscles and joints, increasing your mobility, boosting your energy, and improving your sleep. SafeStep walk-in tubs are designed to easily fit your existing tub space and are often installed in as little as one day. Just dial 1-800-498-2098 today to save $1,600 and receive a free shower package. That's 1-800-498-2098 for a free no-obligation consultation and to save $1,600. Safe Step walk-in tubs. Safety never felt so good.
This is the Sam Bourquin Show on AM 1310 WDPN.
Welcome back, everybody. Phone lines open at 330-821-1310. And don't forget, the WDPN text line is ready for you as well at 330-924-7088. I keep forgetting that text number.
You got it right.
Now,
You're
it's a brand new number from the first couple of shows we did, but I always have that pause of, is that the right number? Yes, it is. All right, we're going to bring in Jeff Mears here in a couple of minutes. He's going to take the 3-question Thursday quiz. Did you see our buddy Sam Amico wrote a story on HoopsWire? Remember during the regular season when the Cavaliers were like really running away with things against teams, and they would say, "Uh-oh, it's a Cavalanche." Remember? They would go on a 10-0 run, 12-0 run, 20-2 run, and they would do the whole avalanche thing, and it was a big deal. Do you know that owner Dan Gilbert paid over $500,000 to install fake snow machines inside of Rocket Arena? Now I know $500,000 is it's pocket change, but still, to go to that depth to do this whole Cavalanche thing with avalanche and snow, he paid $500,000 to install fake snow machines inside Rocket Arena. What would happen is, if the Cavaliers went on a big run, they would have fake snow drop from the ceiling at Rocket Arena, and Cavalanche machine would go off, and they were off and running. It was phenomenal. Here's the one problem, though. The Cavalanche snow machines never went off in the playoffs. They never had to use them. But we'll see if they keep that around again for next year. But if you wondered where that fake snow came from, old Dan put down $500,000 to get some machines in there and drop that stuff from the ceiling at Rocket Arena. It, of course, is a 3-question Thursday. We're getting some outstanding comments on Facebook and Instagram and X. Read a couple more of these before we bring Jeffrey in. I think my voice is about to go at 6 o'clock. I will be lucky if I make it till 6. So we're going to get there. Let's see here. 3-question Thursday poll quiz today. Question number 1. What do you think the Cleveland Browns record will be for this upcoming season? What do you think? Question number 2. Should LeBron James come back one more time to the Cleveland Cavaliers? Question number 3. What is your all-time favorite celebrity crush? What is it? 330-821-1310. Michael Clark, my man, on Facebook. He says the Browns will go 4-13. Yes, bring back LeBron James. His celebrity crush, Joan Rivers. Michael. Let's see here. Lori says the Browns will go 5-12. Yes, bring LeBron back so he can retire a Cavalier. Her celebrity crush is John Bon Jovi. Mike Streb says the Browns will go 4-13. Heck no on LeBron. His celebrity crush, Kendra Wilkinson. Joshua Yankee says the Browns will win 6. Yes, bring back LeBron. He's unbelievable. His celebrity crush is Jennifer Love Hewitt. You can keep those coming on our social media platforms. Again, like, share, comment, and we'll keep rolling with you here on 1310. All right, let's bring him in. Our other news hawk here in the building. It is Jeff Mears, kind enough to stop in for a couple of minutes and visit and take our 3-question Thursday quiz.
Heidi-ho,
How's
neighbor.
your day going, my friend?
Oh, pretty good.
Pretty good. Slow, busy in the newsroom today.
Things have been happening at a moderate pace.
Moderate
pace.
Right.
Nothing
So,
I can't handle.
I got to ask you, as a news guy, do you like it when it's like crazy, crazy, crazy busy? Do you just like that one big, huge story? Or is sometimes it better if there's not a whole lot going on, because that means, well, things are okay?
Well, you can have too much, and you can certainly have not enough. I like something kind of like today. Today was not crazy. There was plenty to do, but it wasn't overwhelming. Sometimes you have multiple huge things going on. That doesn't happen terribly often, but every now and again. It's all about making priorities, and it's easy to walk into it and start running around like a proverbial chicken with his head cut off, So, but you just try to, kind of look at what's going on and say, okay, what needs done first, and take it from there, one step at a time. Baby steps to the assignment sheet, So that's how we work at it.
Well, I'm glad you had that kind of a day. That's good to get to get good in your comfort zone.
Occasionally, it can be a little on the slow side, and you're kind of poking around trying to see what comes up. But I would say it's probably more closer towards too much on more often than not enough.
Yeah, that's when you just start making stuff up. If it's slow, you just make stuff up. Who cares? All right, 3-question Thursday quiz. Jeffrey, you ready?
Sure.
All right, question number 1 today. Cleveland Browns season record. What will it be?
I'm going to be the fly in the ointment here. I am going to say 7-10.
Wow.
That's being very optimistic, I'm sure.
Yeah, I'm anxious to see where you find 7 wins on that schedule. Holy cow. Question number 2. Should the Cleveland Cavaliers, laugh it up over there. Should the Cavaliers bring back LeBron James?
Yeah, why not? Third time's the charm, huh?
Okay.
Give him the chance to, as somebody else said, close it out, pull the curtains in Cleveland, in spite of all the drama that surrounds him everywhere he goes.
Hey, man, if it brings me another title, I'm all for it.
Yeah.
All right, question number 3. This is the big one today. Jeff Mears, your all-time celebrity crush. Who is it?
I thought I had an answer for this. And then I was listening to, I think last hour, somebody mentioned Lonnie Anderson.
Yes.
But it's not Lonnie Anderson, no.
Okay.
But it did make me think of somebody else from WKRP. Jan Smithers.
Really?
Bailey.
Wow. There's another one I didn't have on my bingo card
today. But that's just a kind of whimsical selection there. I would say, in terms of somebody that most people would know, probably Julianne Moore, actually.
Julianne Moore. Okay. Yeah. All right. I can see that. All right. I got to go back here to your Cleveland Browns prognostication. I just pulled the schedule up. Now I'm going to go over the schedule for folks that maybe haven't seen it yet. It came out about 8:15 last night. Maybe you've looked at it enough. Whatever, in between. Week 1, home against Cincinnati. Game 2 at Baltimore. Week 3, home against Green Bay. Week 4 at Detroit. Week 5, home against Minnesota. Week 6 at Pittsburgh. Week 7, home against Miami. Week 8 at New England. Week 9 is the bye. Can't lose that one. Not even Cleveland. Week 10 at the Jets. Week 11, home against the Ravens. Week 12, back out to Las Vegas. Week 13, home against Frisco. Week 14, home against Tennessee. Week 15 at Chicago. Week 16 against Buffalo. Week 17 against the Steelers. Week 18 against the Cincinnati Bengals. Jeffrey Mears, where do you see 7 wins on that schedule?
All right. Can I maybe walk my prediction back?
Oh, no, you've got to. Hey, remember?
Am I committed to this?
Remember when Mike Hargrove used to say, "You've got to have the courage of your convictions. You can't walk it back." Where are they going to win 7 games?
They're going to have to be some real. There's going to have to be some fluke activity going on here.
Some shenanigans.
Yes.
Perhaps some game fixing. No, not that would
in the
ever
NFL.
Happen, not that would ever
kidding?
happen. No, never. 7. I said 4-13, and I kind of want to walk that back.
You're not even
I
sure
think
about
maybe
that.
I think maybe 2-15 might be looking all right. But I think they I think they might beat the Dolphins week 7. I think they might get the Vikings in that game over in London. Maybe. I think they could maybe get the Jets week 10, and I think they could beat the Titans week 14. That's it. Those are the 4 that I think
no
that
shot
they could
to
win.
Cincinnati.
No, I think
Assuming
the Bengals,
everybody's healthy.
Yeah, I think the Bengals are going to sweep the Browns. I think the Steelers will sweep the Browns this year. But again, it's May. We're just having fun. It's the schedule game. Everybody does it every year. But I'm thinking 4-13. I really. And some people say, "Oh, they're going to win 9. They're going to win 10." Not in your lifetime. Is that team going to win 9 or 10 games with that schedule? No way.
Not with the way things are.
No way. Absolutely not. What's your take on the guards right now?
Guards?
25-17, 3.5 out of first. What do you think?
I haven't seen every game, lately, but I catch bits and pieces of it here when I'm in the car. I have Tom Hamilton on and whatnot, and I will say, I think the pitching has been pretty consistent lately. That's always a good. That's always a good thing. Doesn't help if you can't score, but because they still have one of the, in terms of average stats, they don't score a ton of runs. I do think they've gotten better overall, but we could still use a few more there with some of these teams. Generally, I guess feel pretty good. I'm not worried about it.
Okay. The Detroit Tigers, I just mentioned a couple of segments ago. They're really good, and I don't think that they're going away. I think they're going to.
They might be in it for the long haul.
I think
for the
so.
Central.
I think they'll win the division. I think the Guardians could get in as a wild card, but you hate to go that route. But if that's the way you got to get in, that's the way you got to.
We've done it before,
no doubt. So what's going on here coming up locally? Maybe I meant to ask you about this as far as town meetings, school board meetings, Alliance, Marlington, West Branch, Salem. I know you were out at Salem a couple of nights ago. Anything locally that jumps out as far as the news world is concerned?
I think generally speaking, well, all the school boards are kind of they're kind of easing up on things here. You're kind of running up, you're running up on the end of the school year here, so I think they're of course they meet during the summer, but those are typically not very high profile meetings there. So we'll see what happens there. As for other things, city council and Alliance, we think we mentioned a while back all the discussion about rental property regulations and whatnot. And that's actually a discussion that's being had in a lot of other places.
Okay.
I've been finding Canton, Salem, Lisbon, etc. And been some pretty fiery conversations to be had during public speaks.
Okay.
Some of these meetings, and but I think at least for the moment, maybe things are settling down with Alliance. But I wouldn't close the books on that topic just yet.
When do you think that will finally maybe kind of, I don't want to say run its course, but how do you think that's going to end up playing out?
It's hard to say because one of the things that was in the version there was. I don't know if it's fair for me to say it's a watered down version, but in some respects it is compared to some of the things that were proposed by the city. But without getting too much inside baseball here with this, they one of the things they wanted to do was to try to clean up dilapidated properties, and some people feel that rental properties are being unfairly focused on here, even though they're not necessarily in every case rental properties that are the problem, but. The city has kind of made that a focus because they're concerned that they've fallen behind on things and they haven't kept up the code enforcement. Well, they have this oversight board that's been proposed that's part of the legislation that was passed here last month, I believe it was. And it's a 5-member board. Well, the mayor and the safety service director are on that. And the rest of the members are appointed by the mayor. They have to be a tenant, a landlord, property owner, and I don't have it in front of me, but the third one. But some are, I guess it's fair to say, being very critical of the mayor, for better or worse, because he went and proposed, well, here's my appointees. Well, of course, he and the safety service director on it, but he went and picked 3 council members. Now, one of them is a tenant, one of them is a landlord, And of course, I think, like I said, I want to say maybe the other person actually is a council member, that
Sure.
other position. I don't have that right in front of me, but a lot of people feel this is sort of like an end run around whatever the public, or at least what a certain part of the public wants out of this issue. And they kind of feel like, well, this sounds like the mayor just wants somebody that's going to go along to get along. That's why he's making these appointments. So he's been asked to reconsider by some members of council, as a matter of fact. So we'll see where that goes.
Getting hot and heavy.
I said, try not to get it too inside baseball, and I did. So
that's okay, though.
I struck out.
That's all right there. Jeffrey, bro, really appreciate you coming in, taking the quiz, dropping some knowledge on us about what's going on in the area as far as news is concerned. Big plans for the weekend coming up. I know tomorrow, Friday, this is the big weekend before the big weekend of Memorial Day, but what's cooking for you over the weekend? Anything good?
Nah,
Quiet?
I like the fewer plans, the better most of the time. With me.
I know that's
I live by the clock around here.
You like
so,
to keep it simple. Yeah.
Keep it simple. Doesn't have to be nothing, but you don't need to be more jam-packed than absolutely necessary. I don't know. What do you think, Jan Smithers? Was it you or Lonnie? Was it her or Lonnie Anderson for WKRP for you?
Ah, man.
That was like the Ginger and Mary Ann of the 80s.
Yeah. I got to be honest. Lonnie Anderson never did it for me.
Yeah.
I just didn't. So
I've heard other people say the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a Jessica Alba guy all the way. Always have been. So Jessica, if you're out there listening, there comes a day. Just tell me I've got a chance. Tell me I've got a chance.
You're saying there's a chance.
Saying there's a chance. I'm sure my wife appreciates that. All right. We'll take a break. It is 5:51 here on the Sam Bourquin Show. Phone lines are open if you want to get in before we close up shop for the day, 330-821-1310. You can also text the show anytime at 330-924-7088. We'll put a wrap on the 3-question Thursday quiz. We'll look ahead to the weekend coming up. We got a big show coming your way tomorrow. And we'll put the cherry on the Sunday when we get back. Stay with us. Sam Bourquin with 1310 WDPN.
Standing at the edge of a rocky shore, you breathe in the cool, salty air, watching the sun disappear on the horizon. Across the globe, someone begins their day along a sandy beach, listening to the rhythm of the crashing waves. You each envision a world beneath the water, vibrant life in every imaginable form. Now, imagine it's all gone. What was once a place of wonder and beauty is now a dull, lifeless wasteland. Food, jobs, medicine, all gifts from the ocean, all gone. Time is running out to protect our oceans, and without our love, everything the oceans provide can and will disappear. It's our choice. Love it or lose it. Help protect our oceans. Visit World Wildlife Fund at wwf.org/love.
In classrooms across the country, chronic absenteeism is on the rise.
Sophia A., grade 4, absent. Julio M., grade 6, absent.
Aisha S., grade 12, absent.
These absences are often due to the absence of crucial needs, like transportation, healthcare, a working computer, mental health support. The list goes on.
Olivia H., absent. Preston L., absent.
Chloe B., absent.
The reasons why they're absent are very real, and yet the solution is someone present to help them along their path. When site coordinators from communities and schools are on hand, they connect kids to the resources they need. And when they do, 99% of students are present and remain in school throughout the year.
Jacob O., grade 10, present.
Communities and Schools works directly with students, helping them overcome obstacles to succeed in school and in life. Learn more at communitiesinschools.org. Being present matters.
Hi, I'm Connie Britton, and I want to share with you the experience of Donna in Washington. She writes, I got injured about 5 years ago. I was let go when, because of the injury, I couldn't keep up with my schedule. I've tried to find other work, but I'm 68 now. No one wants to hire someone that old. This week is tough, though, because I had to get my tooth fixed. So I only have $10 in my checking account. but it will be okay. I at least have food because of this pantry. Millions of people face hunger, some every day, just like Donna. The Feeding America network of food banks helps provide over 6 billion meals to people in need each year. Learn more at feedingamerica.org. Feeding America, 200 food banks strong.
Mama, what does the chicken say? Dog. Cat. Giraffe.
Giraffe, really?
Giraffe. You're not going to get it all right. Just make sure you nail the big stuff, like making sure your kids are buckled correctly in the right seat for their age and size. Get it right.
Visit NHTSA.gov/the right seat.
Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Teachers are dynamic leaders, shaping a new generation. They bring a variety of perspectives from diverse backgrounds, innovating how they teach to prepare students for our fast-changing world. Achieving this takes skill and expertise. They're tireless explorers, creatively discovering a universe of solutions, telling stories, experimenting, inspiring, mentoring, connecting cultures, and connecting with each other, leading by example. Experience the unique joy of helping students thrive. Teaching is a journey that shapes lives. Are you ready to begin? Explore teaching at teach.org, a campaign supported by the U.S. Department of Education, teach.org, and 1 million teachers of color.
You're listening to the Sam Bourquin Show on AM 1310 WDPN.
Welcome back. We're in the home stretch here, 5:55 on your Thursday afternoon. It is a 3-question Thursday here on the program. I want to thank everybody for dropping their comments and their answers in on our 3-question Thursday quiz. And we'll have another big one for you next Thursday here on 1310 WDPN. I want to thank my guest today, Fred Greetham from the Orange and Brown Report, talking a little Browns mini camp and NFL schedule. Thank you, Fred. Shout out to Sean Devaney with Athlon Sports. We talked a little Cavs and some Cavs future, and we talked a little NBA playoffs as well. So appreciate Sean coming on the show as well. Thanks to Jeff Mears for dropping by to take part in the quiz. And again, we'll do it all over again tomorrow, beginning at 3 o'clock, the big fill-in-the-blank Friday edition of the Sam Bourquin Show on 1310 WDPN. And, of course, you can watch us anytime. Listen to us, AM 1310 X page on the Facebook page and on the Q92 Radio Facebook page and YouTube channel as well. I was going back during the break, and I wanted to, for the last time today, look at the Cleveland Browns schedule to make sure that I'm comfortable here in the middle of May saying that this team will go 4-13. I'm gonna go back one. I'm gonna walk it back one, and I'm gonna end up going with 3-13. I think the Browns are gonna go 3-13.
Whoa, Sam!
I have no idea how the quarterback thing is going to work out, but just by the schedule, and I know it absolutely is insane and really makes no sense to predict games in May that don't happen until September. I get it, but it's just for fun. And I've got them going 3-14. I do.
Sam, I don't know if you can tell Jeff not to walk it back and then walk it back, man.
Well, I just walked it back a little.
Walking it back is walking it back.
Walking it back is walking it back.
And 7-10 is a really stupid answer, but I'm going to stick with it because, frankly, I have no idea what I'm talking about anyway. So if I give you a stupid answer, it's fine. It's just lack of experience.
We won't hold you accountable. So I got the Brownies at 3-14. Looking at some of the games on the schedule, of course, we'll kick off Dallas and Philadelphia the Thursday night before week one. There is going to be a game on Friday, September the 5th, which is absolute crap. That's high school football night. And here comes the pigs that the NFL, greedy pigs that they are. There's a Friday night game in Brazil. The Chiefs and the Chargers at 8 p.m. I'll be doing high school football. I don't give two hoots about the NFL. on a Friday night. Sunday, September the 7th, they got the Raiders at the Patriots. That's one of the ball games. Pittsburgh at the Jets. Again, this is all week one. There's a couple of dogs on here, man. Cardinals at the Saints. Ugh. Nobody should be subjected to that. The Carolina Jacksonville. That's going to be bad. Of course, the Browns open up against the Cincinnati Bengals, and Frisco at Seattle. So not a great opening week slate, but who knows? Lots can change between now and then. You hear Phil in the background. It's time to go. Thanks to Ryan Rainsberg, our producer extraordinaire. Thank you to all the texters, emailers, comment droppers. Appreciate you listening and sharing and liking on all of our social media platforms. But most of all, we appreciate you listening here on this Thursday afternoon. Have a great night, everybody. Go Browns. Go Guards. Go Cavs. Go Bucks. We'll see you tomorrow for Fill in the Blank Friday edition here on the Sam Bourquin Show. 1310 WDPN. So long, everybody.